good. Let's get it. Let's get
Hand rub.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody.
Mic check.
We are here.
We out here.
We're coming to you from Tweed, Ontario.
Shout out to Tweed.
Yo, Tweed with the water, with the grass.
We out here. Where are we at? A marsh?
What the hell's a marsh?
What are we on a lake? Like, what are we on right now? I don't even know.
I don't know. A water? Something. A river, a bank. There's water behind
a river
us.
bank. We are live from the cottage this week. But we still had to make sure we made it happen for the viewers.
Got to drop off the I'm trying to get the word. I had this word already.
What?
Drop off the. Just keep going.
I'm gonna let you have that one. But anyways,
drop off the product. There we go. We gotta drop off the product.
Still have to drop off the product.
There we go. That's what
okay.
Holy fuck.
Okay. Shout out to the viewers.
Yo, thank you.
Thank you guys for sticking with us. We are on episode number 14.
1-4, y'all.
Shout out to the day 1 listeners.
Shout out to day 1.
Shout out to the day 14 listeners.
Shout out to y'all too. We love
that's
y'all
all the new people, of course. Shout out to the day 13 listeners.
Day 13.
The price is going up.
Episode 13.
I'm saying, well, we already released 13.
Yeah, but
so
we didn't release
episode 13 We had a lot more
13.
viewers for episode 13. So shout out to the day 13ers. Because there was a lot of new people.
Yes. Okay, yes. It's called day 13.
Right? And now they're here with us on day 14.
Episode 14.
Well, you know.
I didn't release the episode today.
Tomato.
Week 14. It is what it is, yo.
It is what it is. But guys, welcome to another episode of the True North Views podcast. It's your go-to podcast to start your week.
Damn.
It's your favorite podcast. It's your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast.
What?
Some would say it's Toronto's official unofficial podcast.
Jeez, we are the kings of dope criticism, the pharaohs of prolific opinion, the emperors of elevated thought.
It's your boy Harris here.
I go by the name of JustShola.
And as usual, we are giving you our views from the perspective of a couple of first-generation Canadians on what's really buzzing, what people are talking about, and most importantly, what people are not talking enough about. Now, as usual, I do want to start the show, of course, with adding a couple members to the city's most exclusive list.
Ooh,
the world's most exclusive list.
Wait till that world tour comes.
As I said, the price is going up.
Skyrocketing.
The price is going up.
Yo, get it while it's hot.
So get it while it's hot.
Get it before it's too hot.
Yo, bruh. We got a lot of names to add this week to the unofficial friends list because we got to remember our criteria. They respond to us on social media. They're an unofficial friend.
Pretty much. Right? Invited to the white party.
We go to their show.
They're an unofficial friend.
What else? What other criteria do we have?
You look at us.
They look at us.
You're an unofficial
friend. So we have a lot of names to add because there's a couple of shows that we went to.
Yes.
Let's start with, of course, the one that we both went to.
The Dazed and Blaze tour.
Dazed and Blaze. So who was that we had? OT Genasis. Wait, what was the dude that opened up?
OT Genasis.
Nah, the Things artist. Wiz Khalifa's artist.
Chevy Woods.
Chevy Woods opened up. He had a long set.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a long show.
So Chevy Woods opened up. He performed like 6-7 songs.
Yeah, he went off.
7 or 8 maybe. Low key. He performed like half an album.
He went off. There was no one in the crowd though, but he went off.
OT Genasis came out. Well, we'll speak about it a little bit later. So OT Genasis came out. Lil Skies came out. Rae Sremmurd came out. And then Wiz Khalifa came out. So they're all added to the list.
Official.
Let's actually talk about the performance a little bit.
Okay, let's start with Chevy Woods.
Let's start with Chevy Woods.
There's nothing anything special.
Nothing special, like a regular opener, but you know what? He was holding the stage.
He did exactly. I was nodding my head while he was.
I was pleasantly surprised with his opening. I didn't know who he was.
He's had some good features on Wiz Khalifa stuff before.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Guy. I'm like, all right, man. So you're doing your thing. So shout out to Chevy Woods. What did you think about OT Genasis?
He was actually like he livened the crowd up.
He did.
He only has like 3 hits.
He was a good opener.
But he crip walked too.
Yeah, he's like a good. Did you see that video on fucking
6 Buzz?
Was it 6 Buzz?
I saw it on 6 Buzz.
Where he's sea walking through the whole city. Not sea walking. He's just dancing, being
in front of CN Tower, the intersection where
the intersection. Yeah. What is that?
It's not Blue Jays. It's one beside Blue Jays Way.
Is it
more
Front Street?
West of Blue? No, Front Street is. Front Street is behind it.
Yeah,
or in front of it. It's Blue Jays Way and whatever. What's behind Front Street?
I know fuck, I forgot what it's called.
I can't remember. But yeah, it's that street.
I don't know if he's just on one or if he just really loves Toronto that much.
But he was just hyping. He was hyped.
Yeah, he was hyped. But shout out to him. He did nice. What did you think about your boy? Lil Skies was next.
They ruined his set. They didn't ruin his set. They didn't do it.
Let's tell the viewers what happened. So, man. What do you mean?
The man came out. He came out with "Welcome to the Rodeo," the first song on his album. The rain starts coming down, and we're in the lawn area, not sheltered. So they stopped the show. Like, all right, everyone get onto the sheltered area. So everyone gets on the sheltered area.
Yep.
And we're there for about 30 minutes. Nothing's happening. Everyone's just standing. The rain is pouring behind us. So we can't do anything.
Yep.
And then eventually, when it all calms down,
when did they put up the sign? The sign that said due to extreme weather, get under the shelter. That was that was time.
Yeah, it was right after his first song. He's like,
it was more than 30 minutes. It's like 45, no?
See, that was that long. It was really long.
It was long. Yo, at that point, everyone just started lighting up. Everyone we didn't know how long we'll be there. No one cared. Because, I mean, obviously, guys, if you've ever been to Budweiser Stage or previously known as, like you said, Molson Amphitheater, you'll know that's the venue that people smoke at.
Yeah, it's outdoor.
It's outdoors. There's the lawn area. I've seen security guards smoke there. I don't know none of y'all, so I don't need to protect none of you.
You know, the security guards are just like kids. They're just kids that need a job. They give them a jacket that says security.
That's the funniest thing, yo. When you remember, especially as you get older, when you remember most security guards are just that like 18, 19-year-old
that need a part-time job.
Looking to make like $16 an hour because you make more, right?
Yeah, they make more.
Decent money as a security guard as opposed to doing McDonald's, as an example. And then you remember that that's all they are.
They're only 16, or they don't.
You're just like, okay.
Like, what are you gonna do to me?
Okay,
you get the real cops.
All right, so you're not gonna get the police involved.
We'll get the real cops.
You're really gonna do that? Like, I'll put it out, whatever. But bro, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You know, you can punk them
pretty much.
If you really got to it.
The fake security.
But yeah, the fucking rain was dropping like a motherfucker.
Eventually,
sign went up that said it's due to extreme weather because the thunder started at that point.
We did see thunder. And I thought they would cancel it.
You know, you're borderline canceled at that point. Yeah, so everyone was bummed out.
The rain slowed down eventually, and then people moved back to the 400 section. Again, if you know most amphitheater,
or whatever.
They didn't go to the lawn. The 400 section is right before the lawn.
Oh yeah, they went back. They to
blocked
the
lawn.
Section,
the security on the lawn.
So that part is uncovered as well.
And then Lil Skies came back out.
Yeah.
Then he did 2 songs. He did Lust and
I didn't realize the set was that short.
And then that was it. That because I was waiting. I wanted Lil Skies. I went there for pause. I went there for Lil Skies.
That's a heavy pause.
Yeah.
And then the fucking real headliner.
The people that should have headlined.
The people that should have headlined. The people that
with the more hits. They have more hits. They have more hits than
I don't think that's a fact.
They have way more hits than
Wiz has a catalog, bruh.
No, hits. I'm talking about hits.
Wiz has a catalog. I'm not talking about Wiz has been around for a minute.
Yeah, but he doesn't
have
hits.
Forget.
Name 5 hits by Wiz Khalifa.
Black and Yellow.
Okay.
Fucking When I Roll Up.
You don't know this. You don't know the name of this
I don't know any song names.
Okay.
I Roll Up.
Yes. I'll give you that one because I don't know the name either.
Fucking shit.
Work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play hard.
Yes. And then live young, wild, and free. Young, wild, and free. See how much you're struggling? Now name Rae Sremmurd hits.
But I don't really know song names.
Power Glide.
Pegasus. Power Glide.
No Flex Zone. I'm going after No Flex Zone. I don't like no type. Black Beatles. Yeah. The hits are coming.
Okay, they have,
and that's what sells
better
concerts.
hits. Undeniably, they have better hits. Mm-hmm. But let's not act like Wiz doesn't have hits.
Oh, he doesn't have. He has hits.
Let's respect Wiz a little bit. But anyways, Rae Sremmurd.
I'm not putting disrespect on it. Just
Rae Sremmurd. So the real headliners come out.
They're lit. They got the crowd bumping. That? They're lit. They're everywhere.
I couldn't believe it. Yo,
even Sway Lee singing.
We need to understand.
Auto-tune singing.
We need to understand Sway Lee's superstardom.
He's gonna have talent.
Like, he performed at a level that I think is like unmatched. Like, that's an A-level performance. Just his stage presence, his live singing,
So why haven't they headlined their own show?
The fan.
I thought this third album will be their headline.
Yo, I was thinking really hard to myself. Do you think Jimmy holds them back?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy does hold Sway Lee back. Let's be honest.
Yo, I hate to admit that.
We got to be honest with ourselves. He's lit, but he holds Sway Lee back.
I think he does. I think Jimmy's starting to realize it for himself that Sway Lee's a superstar. Because during the show, he kind of let Sway Lee do his thing.
Oh yeah,
he was in the corner often.
Mm-hmm. Sway Lee has something different that Slim Jimmy doesn't too.
Well, yeah, it's just his sound. Like he has that range that very few artists have. So, there's only a certain amount of people even in that category, even competing with him, so to speak.
Oh, and they brought out Back and Not Nice.
Oh yeah, is that who they brought out?
Yes.
I was wondering who the fuck that was. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
I don't know what that guy looks like. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even know how he looks like, but I know his song. That's he only performed that one song, his first hit.
That was a great segment, if you want to call it that. Their set was great. How long did they perform?
Oh, it was like at least 45 minutes.
They put up a solid hour.
They put up good.
Yeah, they put up like a legit hour.
Don't ask me how long Wiz performed. I do not know how.
And then Wiz comes out. So
people sat.
No.
People sat. You sat.
Did I? Eventually, I sat to. You know what I'm saying? I sat to, because on God.
People in few rows in front of us, they were sitting. I looked to the left, and people at the end of the 300 level were all sitting
because they were all trying to. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I say he doesn't have the hits.
But they were all trying to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to incriminate myself.
No, they were not.
They were all trying to. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Wiz just doesn't have. Not putting anything bad on Wiz. He just doesn't have the hits to headline.
You say he can't. You said he couldn't carry the show.
He could not carry the show. He can't sell out a Molson Amphitheater. He needs to sell out like Rebel or something. Not even Rebel. Rebel's probably too big.
Well, I mean, Molson Amphitheater is like 15,000. That's not easy to sell.
But Drake does that in seconds.
Okay, Drake. You're naming a global artist.
I'll name an artist. I'll tell you who can sell it.
Do you think?
And I'll put them on Wiz's.
Do you think Playboy Cardi can sell it out?
Oh no, but you're saying Wiz is Playboy Cardi's level?
Oh shit. Okay.
Think about exactly what level you're putting Wiz on.
ASAP Rocky.
Okay, ASAP Rocky can't sell that, but he'll sell more than Wiz. He'll sell a good 75%.
Do you think ASAP Ferg can sell an amphitheater?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay.
Another 50% of it. And that's what Wiz would do.
These are all the same artists. Mac Miller.
Yeah, Mac Miller has a following. He has a white following.
Do you think he can sell out the amphitheater?
Do I think he can? No. But he'll sell out more than Wiz can.
But the stadium was full.
Yeah, but everyone was there to see Rae.
Full with an empty lawn, let's say, right?
Everyone
so
was there to see Rae Sremmurd, though.
There.
Everyone there was there to see Rae Sremmurd.
You don't know that.
My coworkers were there to see Rae Sremmurd. They were like, we want to for Rae Sremmurd.
I'm just playing devil's
advocate. The people in front of us, I know. There's no way you can tell me Rae Sremmurd did not carry that
Sremmurd was the headliner. Sremmurd was the real headliner. So we left early.
Yeah.
Because at one point you were like, yo, bruh, why don't we just cut?
I was like, I'm low-key ready to leave. And everyone else said, yeah, same here.
I'm like, all right, let's do it. But it was a lit show. Fun show. Fun audience. The rain was pouring. People of non-color were doing people of non-color things
in the rain.
In the rain.
Rain makes them
rain, produces energy for certain people.
I feel like the water sign, like the
a lot of Aquariuses in the crowd, a lot of Cancers, a lot of Pisces. A lot of what's the fourth sign? I don't even know what the fourth sign is.
There's a fourth one?
Isn't there?
I don't know astrology like that. Is that astrology or astronomy?
How many things are there? No, there's 3 per. Because how many fucking water, air,
earth?
Sorry, there's water.
There's water,
earth,
air, fire.
Air, and there's no fire.
There's fire.
Who's the fire sign? What's a fire sign?
I don't know what a fire sign is. That's why I read somewhere there's a fire one.
Anyways, let's move on because we're fucking not experts.
Who else is joining this club?
So who else is joining this club, man?
Tell us about that concert.
I forgot to talk about the Lauryn Hill concert. So obviously that was 2 weeks ago. Lauryn Hill came to Toronto. Pretty underrated list of people who were here. So Tierra Whack was here as well.
Tierra Whack?
I don't know. I can't identify a song, but it's one of those distinct sounds.
Was she singer, rapper, dancer?
More singerish. Okay. Yeah. Busta Rhymes was there. Santigold was there, and obviously Lauryn Hill was there. Did
Santigold perform that song with Lil Wayne?
Which one is that?
Did you guys know that?
I wanted her to do Brooklyn. She did do Brooklyn with Go Hard.
Lil Wayne and Santigold?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. If it comes to me, I remember.
I have no idea. So Tierra Whack opened up. I didn't know who Tierra Whack was at first, but I'm like, yo, this person has some tracks. Like I had to attempt.
Now she's on your playlist?
No, not yet. But I had to attempt to ask Siri what I'm listening to.
Hey Siri,
you know what I'm saying? You know what those ones? Because I was trying to identify the artist, and I was like, yo, who am I listening to? This person's kind of going in. So I looked them up on Spotify, saved the name. So eventually I'm going to take in the music. Busta Rhymes was there. So Busta Rhymes, poor Busta Rhymes, man. He can't keep up with himself.
Why?
Back in the day, he was so he had so many syllables in his lyrics.
And now he's like,
And now he's too heavy. He's like, and then Spliff Star was there, his hype man, right? So Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star, of course, for those that are old enough to remember, that's like a classic duo, right? Busta Rhymes and Spliff Star. So it's like he's performing, and Spliff Star is doing like most of the talking, like during the
how
beat.
old is
like,
Busta Rhymes?
He's probably like 45.
Oh, I think he's almost 50.
But Busta Rhymes has hits. He was just going in. He was doing that every time I go. You remember what's that verse?
From Chris Brown's song.
Yeah. So he did that. Oh, he was
Busta Rhymes
hit.
is 46.
When he wants, 45, 46. When he wants, he can hit every syllable, but not for an entire track. He was only doing it for a verse or for half a verse and he was sweating. It was hot as shit. He was wearing a leather jacket that day.
He's still big?
He's still a bigger guy. Still a chubbier guy right now.
He got shot to all the pairs.
But he was killing it. But what was annoying was that the audience didn't really know his music.
Where do you think they're coming for Lauryn Hill? They'll know Busta Rhymes.
You would think so. Like they would know 90s hip hop. Like, you would think they would know Busta Rhymes' music. And Busta Rhymes was doing a lot of 90s shit. Like, got you all in check.
Well, I love Lauryn. I don't know, actually.
You know, he's doing all that shit. So that surprised me that the audience didn't really know his stuff. Kind of disappointing, actually. But that was still lit, in my opinion. I was wilding out. I was like, yo, Busta, that's how you feel? Santigold comes on.
Is it Santigold or Santigold?
Santigold, right?
Oh, I call it Santigold. Well, yeah, Santigold.
Sounds amazing live.
She's singer, right? She's
singer, yeah. She's singing. She has some high, Go Hard. She has some bigger tracks. She has some bigger tracks.
She has some high pitched notes too, right?
Yeah, for sure. So she performs. She's killing it. So she opens up, obviously, like she's the kind of the main. Oh, Dave East was supposed to be there.
Oh, yo, why didn't Dave East show up?
I feel like he probably couldn't get across the border.
He has some charges?
Maybe.
Oh, I thought he was like.
Well, okay. What assumption would you have for why Dave East is not there?
Well, and whenever anyone doesn't show up at the Canadian concert, we just assume they can't get by the border. That's the first.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe he was sick.
Right. So maybe he was
never supposed to perform at the show.
I think he also that could be another thing because I looked up his name, and I think I saw him on like another show in another city like the following day.
Yeah, because like even like the Rae Sremmurd, the Days and Blades, Rae Sremmurd doesn't perform at every city.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's some cities that they're not going to perform at because they're probably like busy or something.
Like a small city, or they have another show going on or some shit. But whatever. But yo, a lot of people were actually super upset. I do want to talk about this a little bit because this kind of annoyed me. A lot of people were upset that Lauryn Hill. A lot of people were upset with her performance in general.
Why? Her performance, like she wasn't giving effort. She wasn't giving. She was late.
She was late, which she's notoriously known for. Yes. So she started performing around 10:15, 10:20.
When was she supposed to technically start? Like 9?
Probably 9:30. Probably 9:30. Now that I think about it.
How long was the distance between Santigold's set starting?
Santigold probably finished around 9.
And then
Lauryn Hill started around 10:20.
So Lauryn Hill probably had to start like around 9:30.
Yeah.
So did she have any fancy set? Like, were they building a stage? Was it something that looked too complicated?
It was kind of. I mean, it wasn't like Kendrick's. Like I went to Kendrick's show at the same venue.
They had a bigger like.
It wasn't like Kendrick's, but it was it was background singers, like a little bit of a backdrop. Nothing too like.
Nothing that would take an hour to build.
Yeah, nothing that requires a change of scenery or anything like that. But whatever, she showed up late, and it was kind of weird because I swear we all heard her during sound check.
So she was
at
there
6 p.m.
Yeah,
so maybe she was just in her room, like I don't want to perform.
I always want to ask these musicians why they're late to their own set. Like if your set says 10:15, why did you show up at 10:45
or whatever?
Like why show at 10:15? What stops you? Is it cool?
So she showed up late. Like I said, she started around 10:20. She finished around 10:50, 10:55.
So it wasn't even that long.
So it wasn't that long. 30, 45 minute set. I would say maybe max 45 minutes.
If you're headlining, you an hour.
I felt satisfied because this tour specifically is the 20th anniversary of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. So it's not her back catalog. It's not, her tracks with the Fugees or anything like that. It's just that specific album. That album has 14 tracks on there.
So that's pretty much what she came here for.
So in let's say 35, 40, 45 minutes, you can knock off 8 tracks.
So
9 tracks.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Good music is going on Pusha, Daytona, Yay, concerts. Pusha comes out, performs Daytona, 25 minutes. Ye comes out, performs
21
Ye,
minutes.
21 minutes. Are you satisfied with that concert?
I'm satisfied because that's what I expected.
And you paid Pusha Ye money, which is $120 a ticket.
So what did Kanye call the other tour, the Life of Pablo tour?
Yeah, I went to that one. That was a good tour.
So you went to that, right?
That was good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to make an assumption. He performed a lot of back catalog.
He did. Yeah, what he did was he performed a lot of Pablo first, and then he did a lot of backlog, and then ended off with Pablo.
Okay, so that's my point. So for the Life of Pablo tour, would you have been disappointed if he didn't do any back catalog?
Of course I would be. As an artist, if I'm going to your tour, you have to do at least a few of your hits.
I don't think so.
I don't expect you to do only your hits.
I think it depends on the tour, because tours have names to them, right? To me, like, it makes sense why there's a name to a tour.
Yeah.
The Life of Pablo tour,
so
I know that if I buy tickets, I might only get Life of Pablo.
No, I want to get a little bit of backlog. You got
I want catalog. Absolutely, I want catalog. But I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't get catalog, because it's not Kanye West is going on tour. It's Kanye West goes on the Life of Pablo tour.
Yeah, with Kanye West and his back padlock.
I think your expectations are too high.
I'm not expecting 10 songs. I think like at least 1 or 2.
So I think just to bring it back in perspective here, I think the expectations that people had were just too high. People wanted Lauryn Hill to sound like she did 20 years ago,
and she doesn't. Of course.
And she's not going to sound like that.
And she's not going to show
up.
She was
still hitting her notes well. She's hitting. This guy's wild. She was hitting her syllables well in the parts that she raps, of course. And a lot of people weren't satisfied with, she did cut some songs short.
A lot of people probably didn't bump her new album. They went to they know her for her back.
What do you mean new album?
Her 20th or whatever thing that you said she went on tour with.
That's the 20th anniversary of her album.
Oh, okay. You know what? I don't know.
Wow, a lot of wine in your system or something. Live at the Cotty. Say less. But I think a lot of people maybe had their expectations too high. They wanted her to sound like she did 20 years ago on one of the best pieces of hip hop history.
Do you think Lil Wayne, for example, if he was going to will he sound like Lil Wayne from 10 years ago?
No.
Are you expecting him to sound like Lil Wayne from 10 years ago?
No.
So would
Busta Rhymes, I loved Busta Rhymes' set. But he's not going to sound like Busta Rhymes in 94.
Well, I see what you're saying.
Because he's not, you know what I'm saying?
But you don't want them to sound like that.
You want them to, but they're not going to. Like, you think Drake is ever going to sound like So Far Gone Drake again?
Definitely not.
So are you going to be disappointed if he never sounds like So Far Gone Drake again?
Yes, not.
Are you going to be disappointed if Jay-Z never sounds like Blueprint Jay-Z again?
Yeah.
No, you're not going to be. You're going to understand that, this was 20 years ago. You're going to sound different. Right, so I think people were too sensitive. It was a little bit annoying. I think it needs to be a little bit more of an appreciation. You got to see an icon live for a half hour or for 40 minutes, however long it was. You got to see an icon perform.
I'm just an icon living.
One of the most classic pieces of artwork in music history.
Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Right? Why aren't you at the end of the day, I was like, I got to see Lauryn Hill. And I was never the biggest Lauryn Hill fan growing up. It's not like I never, I knew obviously I was aware of her music, and I was aware of her presence and aware of what she did for, female music in general in the hip hop community. But I never look at her on the same level that I look at Jay-Z or whoever, right?
Mm-hmm. It's like a concert you would never go to.
Exactly.
It's just coming alone and then be like, Lauryn Hill concert coming up. It's not something you look, you're like,
when am I ever going to have an opportunity to do that again?
Yeah, you probably won't. So it's good. Take it while you can.
Take it while you can. It's good to enjoy. And but anyways, shout out to everyone that we're fucking going in too deep with that. But shout out to everyone that has joined the unofficial friends list.
Welcome to the white party.
Is that the longest unofficial friends segment we've ever had?
Probably. Well, we just added 10 people.
Probably was. So who did we add? We just added OT Genasis,
Chevy Woods,
OT Genasis,
Lil Skies, Rae Sremmurd. That's 2 of them.
Yep.
Wiz Khalifa.
Yep.
Tierra Savage. Oh, sorry.
Tierra Whack.
Tierra Whack.
Tierra Whack, Busta Rhymes, Santigold, and Lauryn Hill.
Yes, welcome to
the all-white party.
All-white party. You begin the invite shortly.
You'll be getting that invite shortly. Check your DM.
It's going to be bigger than the Met Gala. Just watch.
Check your inbox. Check your,
Yo.
So let's move on. So before that, actually, like
Shout out.
I said, the price is going up.
Yo, we increasing, yo.
We increasing.
Rent is going over and gentrified.
We're turning into Brooklyn.
We're getting gentrified.
We're turning into what other area was gentrified? We're turning into
Dumbo.
Regent Park.
You think Regent Park's gentrified?
Yes.
We're turning into Rexdale in 10 years.
Rexdale in 10 years. Oh, baby. We're turning into Jane and Finch. Loki has it.
It's not gentrified yet.
It's coming.
What's there that's gentrified?
Give it 5 years.
What's there that's starting it?
Nothing yet. The TTC. The subway.
It's too far from Jane and Finch at Jane and Keel. It's at Finch and Keel.
There's also one at Yorkview. There's also one at
but it's
Jane
not Jane and
Steele.
Finch. Like, you're talking about Jane and Finch, Jane and Shoreham.
Don't worry. Give it 5 years. You'll see.
We got to start seeing those shops now. Like, you got to see those white people shops that white people like and who come in and say, ooh, Jane and Finch has this thing.
It's going to come 5 years. But we're getting a lot of viewers from a lot of different areas. And we appreciate it.
Where are they from?
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to where y'all from.
Shout out to where y'all
And tell a friend to tell a friend. Say less.
Telling friends. Tell friends in other countries too.
That's it. So, I mean, obviously, Toronto is going to be our top listen.
Shout out to the Six. You already know the Six. Every day we represent.
Shout out to the Six.
Only here just for you
Shout
guys.
out to T-Dot.
We're doing this for y'all.
Get ass out here.
Shout out to Drake.
Brooklyn.
Yo, shout
Brooklyn at?
Shout out to
Where
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn at?
We fuck with New York heavy. New York fucks with us.
Brooklyn. I'm right here, big.
That's
Amityville, New York.
That's
Shout
in New
out to
York.
you guys.
Yeah, shout out to Amityville.
Houston, Texas. Shout out to y'all.
Houston, Atlanta,
Washington,
Texas.
D.C.
Shout out to Wale's fans out there.
Somerville. Where is that?
Where's
I don't even know what
like
MA
SOM
is.
or SUM?
What's MA? What province?
SM?
What state is MA? Missouri? No, that's
Massachusetts.
MI.
Massachusetts.
Oh, real shit? Massachusetts? Somerville, Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Two shits.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
St. Paul, Minnesota. Yo, shout out
Manchester. I don't know
Andrew
what that
Wiggins.
is.
Manchester thing. And
Minneapolis, Minnesota, of course.
Yeah.
Nashville,
everywhere.
Tennessee. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to all you guys listening.
Yo, we got
Thanks for
someone
listening.
from Staines, which is in United Kingdom.
Yo, we going Brit out here.
416
Tip cherry,
worldwide. Yo, we got Pretoria, South Africa.
Yo, how do you say thank you in Swahili? I'm not sure.
We
about
got
thank you.
Lausanne, Switzerland.
Yo, Switzerland. I need to hide some money.
Yo, we out here, man. We out here. The price is going up.
Yo, it's increasing. Yo, get
So,
your ass
now is the time to become a fan.
Yo, trust me.
Now is the time to become a fan.
Yo, I
before we're
remember
too
those
big.
guys when they had 13 followers.
And then everyone's just going to say, yeah, you're just joining the bandwagon. And it doesn't feel good to be a bandwagon fan.
You want to be? I'm a day 13 or
Exactly. So, day 14.
well, day 14.
It's not too late.
Yo, let's
It's not
get into
too
some
late.
music.
Shout out to y'all. Yeah, let's get into some music,
Okay,
man.
I have a big bone to fight.
So, by the way, hold on. I got to cut you off. It is raining.
Oh,
And we are live at the Cotty. So, if you hear that background noise, c'est la vie. It is what it is. But go ahead. What were you saying?
all right. So recently, someone's told me we don't own music when we use Spotify and Apple Music. It's like we're technically renting the music, so they can do whatever they want. Because when you sign that terms and condition, you pretty much said, "I don't own this music, and I'm giving you the rights to do what you want." You did
Very
sign
true.
it.
That's why people like Joe Budden still buy music on iTunes.
So-
$1.39 a track.
I've bumped Juice WRLD's album enough times. I know the track listing.
Right.
2 weeks ago, Wasted comes out. I'm like, you know what? So I'm like, let me listen to some more Juice WRLD. Why is Wasted number 5 track on the album that came out in May? And all of a sudden, 2 tracks are gone from the album. I can't remember the names. I tried to do some research and nothing showed this
So
up.
when did Wasted come out?
2 weeks ago.
And you notice now it's on the album
It's on the album.
that came out 5 months ago.
Yes, and this track features Lil Uzi, so it's going to get hits.
So you're breaking some shit right now. You're breaking some news right now. Hold up.
Trust me.
Hold up. So is this a thing?
I think it's happened before, because I know it's happened. Remember the Pablo, where they changed the lyrics in one of them?
But that was different. That was a different release. That was a 331 release.
Okay, so see, that was a different
Right?
release.
They acknowledged that as a different release because I remember it said Life of Pablo in brackets and then the date
3.31. Yeah.
2016.
Yeah, 20.
Damn, shout out to
2
my
years
memory.
ago. But yeah, are they doing this for streams? Because now they know Uzi will get more hits.
I think they have to be doing it for
and
streams, but
they
why?
take out the songs that aren't getting the hits.
So maybe this is to make what's the album called?
Goodbye and Good Riddance.
Oh yeah, Goodbye and Good Riddance. Yeah, you have that on your top 3.
Oh yeah, of course it's.
So
up there.
maybe
It's all last
they're
week.
trying to make that go like RIA, like certified platinum or some shit like that.
Is that aren't there rules against this? Why is this possible?
The streaming world has created a whole bunch of new rules. There's a whole bunch of loopholes. There's probably no rule that says you can change the album. There's probably no rule that says you can't change the album. Sorry,
I'm just gonna come up with 10 hits and make them put them all in one album. And say, oh guys, here it is.
Well, that's what people do. That's why they release singles now, right? They release a single, see how it does. That's why I think the Minaj album might just be a collection of performance. It might be, how did Chun-Li do? How did
but that's what singles are supposed to test.
Well, absolutely, but I'm saying the New Age single, because the New Age single is released directly through streaming, right? So now a track like Fifi, let's say, I don't know if Fifi would be enough credit for Minaj to ever put on her album. Let's say it was, right?
Her, she'll put that on her album.
That's what I'm saying. If Fifi blew up, which it did, now all of a sudden it's on her album.
But then the other one came out with Chun-Li, it's probably not going to be on her album.
Exactly. What was it? Barbie Tings. Yeah. Which one did better? Chun-Li did better.
Chun-Li did better, so that's probably on her album.
So maybe Barbie Tings is not on the album.
Like Drake when he came out with Diplomatic Immunity.
Or Diplomatic?
Diplomatic Immunity came out with God's Plan at the same time.
Yeah.
That didn't make the album.
And then he came out and then he did I'm Upset. Nobody thought it was an album track. Everyone's like, this is just a throwaway track from Drake.
That's what everyone thought it was an album track.
But because it blew up, because people probably thought there was some response to Pusha at the time. It's called I'm Upset.
But it actually had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with Pusha, nothing to do with the beef or anything. People are clicking it, and now Drake's just like, fuck it, throw it on the album.
That's crazy.
Right?
It's not fair, man. That's why you got to buy music. They can't change it up if you have the hard copy.
Do you buy music?
Oh hell no! I already paid $14.99 a month for Spotify.
You're not practicing what you preach?
I didn't say we should. I didn't say I'm going to do it, but if you want,
I want to buy. Believe me, I really do want to buy music because I like the idea of owning it.
Yeah, of course.
Once I purchase it, but streaming is just so
much easier.
It's just so efficient.
Just plug it and go.
Decide to play it. No, I don't want to fuck with that track. I'm not going to save it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to add it to my playlist. I'm not going to download it. Yeah. Whatever. So it's like
you're not stuck. You don't play an album. Remember CDs put in your car. Next. Your car had the 5 CD changer.
You had to commit. Oh yeah, if you had the CD changer, you were lit.
When you're going on trips, you have to make sure you have to know what 5 albums you're going to start. You made your own mix.
You were lit.
I used to make my own mix in my own house.
But you had to, prior to obtaining music via other methods. You had to commit to that music.
Oh yeah,
right. If you you had to spend $13.99 at HMV
on that Eminem
or at Blockbuster
album.
or wherever to get that album.
Yeah,
right. And nowadays it's just like I'll listen to it, I'll give it a listen. No, it's trash. I'm done.
And then that's why everyone thinks they have a say now because it's easy accessible. It's like I could just go there and say it sucks. And
that's very true.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Speaking of Boonk. Speaking of music and Spotify.
To add a segue there, but that's okay. We're talking about Boonk or whatever his name is.
Boonk, Booo.
Boonk. So I thought this guy was a rapper. You guys told me he's not.
He's not a rapper. Okay, so what he is he's an Instagram comedian. He's not a comedian. Prankster.
Is he like a SSE?
What's an SSE?
Fat Boy SSE?
No. Well, I think he tried to be
early days Fat Boy. Because remember, early days Fat Boy was doing pranks before he did these Tyrone type of videos nowadays with the Pio or whatever his name is.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's something like that. Yeah, he was doing pranks.
Or the guy that was doing the put him in a coffin. What is it? Put him in a. What was it?
Put him in a coffin and they jump on
and they broke over shit. So Bonk or Boonk was that?
Yeah, but he did the ignorant stuff. He was stealing,
super ignorant,
blatantly stealing, running away from stuff, running. Boom gang, a whole lot of gang shit.
Essentially,
yeah. He went viral for getting arrested for stealing donuts from Dunkin' Donuts.
This guy's wow. Okay,
but anyway, he's releasing a single because when you're famous and you have no talent, you
release
become a rapper,
and then you might do what Bad Baby does. Bad Baby has a feature with fucking
Ty Dolla $ign.
Ty fucking $ign.
Yeah, I actually heard that song. Unfortunately, I listened to it.
It's trash.
I just listened for Ty Dolla $ign.
I commented. I was like, not even Ty can save this one.
Honestly, he really did it.
It is trash. But go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Nah, it's all good, man. But yeah, that's just point. Everyone becomes a rapper. You got 2 million followers on Instagram. You're a rapper. All of a sudden.
True. Because you got clicks. So clicks he's on money, and that's the game now.
He's on his media tour, and he shows up at No Jumper interview with Adam 22. Who's a wild guy on his own. I'm not going to.
Who apparently is a porn star?
He's not a porn star. He just films himself having sex.
Like amateur pause?
Yeah, he holds the camera.
I know I'm inquiring pause.
Yeah, he holds the camera.
And like, does it get uploaded? Like,
Yeah, he uploads it to
like Pornhub and those type of sites.
Yeah, if you search Adam 22 on Pornhub or one of those porns, you'll see him and his girlfriend and probably some next girl.
I knew No Jumper was not a good podcast from the one time that I tried listening to it, and now I know for sure it's not a good podcast. Honestly,
he has some
because of who the fuck Adam 22 is.
He has some good questions though. I like him.
Star.
And he monetized on SoundCloud.
To me, he doesn't ask good questions. I sound like I'm hating. It is what it is. C'est la vie.
Yeah, I used to hate him too.
I'm gonna tell it like it is. To me, he doesn't ask good questions. To me, he doesn't do a good job at listening. To me, he sticks to the questions that are on paper. I could be wrong, but I've only listened to like 2 episodes.
No, I've been to a few of his interviews and I like him. He has really good energy.
He sticks to paper a lot. He doesn't really follow the flow. Like, you know what interview I'm thinking about? Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm being biased because I'm thinking about the Rae Sremmurd interview.
Okay, well, first of all,
where Jimmy kept saying like, "Yo, bro, stick to today, bro. Stick to Shrem Life 3."
Jimmy was high as shit.
Stick to Shrem Life 3. Stop talking about this other shit. And he kept going back to the list of his questions.
That's just one interview,
right? So
you gotta watch that. Slim Jimmy was high as hell in that interview.
Can you not adapt in your environment and only talk about Shrem Life, or maybe cut the interview short? If an interview has to be cut short, it has to be cut short.
Nah. Yeah,
you gotta have a plan B.
That was a one interview,
I guess.
Like Migos give bad interviews, but
okay, I guess I'll give him another chance.
Well, he does stuff with the new SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
He's big in that. So
he's manages, to me, okay, this is kind of how I thought about him today. He's almost like a no entertainment version of an Academics.
No.
In terms of support for new, he's bigger.
He's bigger. He's way bigger than Academics.
I don't know, man. Academics is bigger than we think.
Bigger than no. Adam 22 is huge.
Really?
Adam 22 is huge. I mean, these songs he was interviewing most of these SoundCloud rappers before a year before they blow up.
Right.
Like he has an interview with what's the guy that died? XXXTentacion. Like right after he came out, like before he went to jail.
Shit.
And so after the song blew up, he was like one of the only people that had an interview with.
I would still put my money on Academics.
And they respect him. Like those songs, they respect him.
Yeah.
No, he has an interview with Trippie Redd, Lil Pump, like people that don't do interviews. He gets interviews with them.
Yeah. He's like Ak has the same respect with his Twitch account, with people going on live with him.
Yeah, only Tekashi really does that.
I don't know, man. Yo, viewers, let us know who's a bigger name.
That's true.
Fucking DJ Academics or Adam 22 Jumper. What the fuck is his name? No Jumper podcast.
Oh, but back to Boonk.
Back to Boonk. So what happened with Boonk?
He shows up. He's on something.
Yo, I saw a clip of that. He's out of his mind drunk.
He cannot hold on a conversation.
Nope.
He can't stand up. Nope. He's throwing up. Slurring his words. He's hiccuping. He almost passed out like twice. Like sitting down. There's nothing special about the interview, really and truly. Don't even waste your time watching it.
Just watch the clip that's on Instagram.
Pretty much. And there was one comment that made me want to talk about it. And one comment was, I don't know who wrote it, I should have written the name. He's like, this is funny, but kind of fucked up at the same time.
Yes.
And I'm like, yes. I don't know how to explain why, but it is.
That's exactly what I thought. So I saw the clip on Instagram with no volume. I'm so like...
You're not missing much.
You know those ones where you just kind of scroll Instagram and you're like, wait, this looks interesting. And then you keep looking and then you're like, should I keep looking? And then by the time you decide, it's like the video's over. So that's basically what happened to me. So I've only seen it once. He's like he's like tripping over, stumbling. I'm like, this is kind of fucked up that this is presented to the world and not edited.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, is he fucked up for doing that interview? I would not do that interview.
That's when
my morals be like, all right, man, like clearly you shouldn't be doing this interview.
I think he's super fucked up for doing it for clicks. Because yes, he's doing it for clicks. And I think, to me, and I hope, as we do get bigger and bigger, that we keep that same energy. But to me, there's a huge difference between like integrity and notoriety.
Yes.
Right? So I'll give you an example. Somebody like Joe Budden and the Joe Budden podcast, all about integrity. He's not going to do things for clicks, right? He's not going to cover a 6ix9ine story about him doing this, that. Like I'm sure he's not going to cover 6ix9ine getting shot.
No, right? Probably is.
Imagine if he does, it goes in depth.
Here's why he got shot in the left eye.
But the idea is that I'm not going to do something just to get some clicks. I'm going to really, stick to some things that have substance or stick to topics that I can actually relate to, or even want to talk about.
Not just headliners.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Right? And then there's notoriety. There's people like DJ Academics. There's people like 22.
I'm 22.
Right?
I don't know, man.
I think 22 is in that same category now. I think he does shit. I don't even know if that's what he goes by.
He goes
but
by
I'm gonna
Adam
call him that.
22.
I'm gonna call him 22. To me, what it sounds like now, and I'm just going based off of my first impression with him. I'm going based off of this story. I don't know enough about Adam 22 and No Jumper. Fair disclaimer. But there is such thing as first impressions.
There is.
That's what I'm doing right
And
now.
they do count. Believe it or not, they do count.
My first impression of Adam 22 is that he is somebody that is on the notoriety side of the fence and does not care about the integrity side of the fence.
I can see why. I'm not going to argue that.
Right.
Like, I can see why you would think that.
So now it always brings up the question. So now if it does lead to more clicks, which side are you on? Would you rather get 1,000 clicks
100.
by keeping your integrity, or would you rather get 100,000 clicks?
Oh, integrity, man. Your integrity is priceless. Clicks have a price to it. Each click is what, $20 for an ad. Your integrity is not $20 per click.
That's a
or
fact.
20 cents per click. It's priceless. That's
a
something,
fact.
if it's gone, you going to take years to get back.
Yo, that's bars.
I'm
Yo,
out here, man. Look at me.
that's how you feel?
Yo, that's it.
That's how you feel? Yo, that's
Man.
jokes.
I just think he should not have recorded that interview. That should have done. Anyway, speaking of drugs, yo, you want to talk about Demi Lovato?
Yo,
Yo,
Demi,
she's
man.
on some 25-year-old
Demi
white
ODs,
girls
man.
shit.
Yo, isn't she Latina, low-key?
I swear she is. She is.
She is. I saw.
Her dad's Latino.
I think I
I think her
saw.
mom's white.
Oh, okay, so she is white then.
Yeah, like her dad's Latino.
Right, but she is also legitimately white.
Yeah. like,
Okay, just making sure. No, I thought
has
she was
claim
full
for-
Latino. Like,
no, she has claim for white in her.
yeah, like Logic is legitimately white. Drake is legitimately white. Like there are people that are legitimately white as well, right? So Demi is legitimately white, so I don't feel as bad now for what people are saying. But obviously, again, she ODs. We don't need to, say the story like at this point. If you don't know, do your
read
Googles
exactly.
and read it to yourself. There is some backlash because, of course, nowadays you can't have a story without backlash.
Everything is
Right?
backlash.
There's always going to be backlash.
You saved a kid. Well, why the fuck did you save the kid?
Exactly. Something. You know what I mean? Why didn't you give the parents the rights to
To save
something?
the kid.
Some
Yeah,
nonsense.
like, someone's got to be offended for something.
So there's a narrative going on right now that I agree with a lot. And I hate
You.
that that race has to be involved in this discussion.
Don't make race and drugs together.
But I agree with the narrative that's going on. And
What
the
is
narrative
it?
that's going on right now
But
is
it's not for
that
nothing.
so Demi Lovato overdoses. The public narrative is, oh my God, poor Demi, get better soon. You have an addiction problem. We want you to get better. Wow.
Well, isn't that
we want
for
you to get
everyone?
better, and we're going to do this at any cost.
Because that's my reaction for everyone. Like, hey,
Yes,
we see
it
you
is
have a
your
problem.
reaction for everyone, and it's my reaction for everyone. However, in the public's eyes, let's think about somebody like DMX,
Okay.
right? So now when he has addiction problems, what's the narrative around him? He's a bad father. He doesn't pay bills. He's a criminal. He this, he that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Especially
I
when
can
it's
see
a
that.
black male.
Yeah.
The narrative around addiction, the narrative around overdose is more leaning towards the criminal aspect of
So
it.
if Future was to be like, I'm going to, we all know Future is on like half the world.
Well, Future might be on
If he's-
nothing, actually.
If he says
Might
I'm
actually
going,
be on no drugs at
okay,
all.
let's say he is on something and he says
And let's
I'm
say-
going to rehab.
Well, no, there's a difference between I'm going to rehab, because I'm going to rehab almost across the board is seen as good for you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying
if he ODs,
if he overdosed and was hospitalized.
so like Lamar
What is the
Odom.
narrative? Yeah, Lamar Odom.
Oh, he did not get the same support, did
Did
he?
Lamar Odom get support?
Oh hell no, he was in a brothel. Why is he in a
Exactly.
brothel?
Why is he in a brothel? Why is he doing this? Why did he cheat on?
He was
Chloe with
he
that?
made this much money in the NBA.
He made this much. Why
Demi
can't he
Lovato
take care of
Demi
himself?
Lovato makes a lot of money too,
Right? Demi makes more than Odom.
probably in her whole
Ever did.
career, and she's only
Right?
25.
Exactly. Is she 25?
She's 25. Trust me, I follow her on Instagram.
God damn, I thought
I
she was
put
like
Marry
28 by
Me,
now.
Hard Eyes.
She's been around for a minute. Fuck.
Oh, because she was on that show.
No, I know. It's just Disney. She's
Those Disney stars are old. They're young, but they're old.
Yeah, they're young old.
We grew up with them.
They're
That's
like Bow Wow old. Like Bow Wow's been in the game
Yeah,
damn
Bow
near
Wow's like
20 years.
32.
And he's like 32 years
I don't
old.
know, but he's
Yo, that's hilarious. Fuck, what was I saying? What was my point?
Lamar Odom.
Lamar Odom. Demi Odom. So anyways, again, I'm glad you brought up Lamar Odom because I was trying to think of a second example.
I was trying to think so hard of
while I
someone
was
that
saying
OD'd.
that. You think about Lamar Odom's drug addictions. You think about DMX's drug addictions, and they're not seen as let's pray for them, let's hope they get better, let's hope they solve their issues. It's seen as these guys are criminals, these guys are wrong, these guys are not doing what they're supposed to be doing in life.
Welcome to America.
Right? And now the narrative with Demi is
systematic racism right there.
There you go. So I don't know, man. I have a problem with that. And I mean, that's the narrative that's going around, and that's a narrative I agree with.
Yeah, it's how the world works.
I want to ask you, when these types of things happen, like let's say this Demi thing happens, which it did, and people bring up that side of the argument. What's your response to it? Are you saying, yo, you're right, let's fight for it? Or are you just like, yo, let's just focus on the right thing? Because it's a crossroads.
That's a hard.
It's a crossroad, right?
In a hard place.
It's
my
a
answer
crossroad.
could be really dependent.
Yo, that's what I'm saying.
What would it's hard to fight something. I don't want to say racism is a losing battle. It's not a losing battle, but it's hard to teach people that don't want to learn. It's hard to teach ignorant people, and it's reached a point where I think
intentionally ignorant people.
Yeah, there's people here who are intentionally ignorant who, no matter what you tell them, they're like, nah, no, Demi's different from Lamar Odom. But it's not. Like, why is it different? Just because one's white female and one's
female, or at least
black male. So, but it's hard to fighting in a different way, I guess, is the way we'll go about it. We just gotta teach people. That's what we're here to talk about it.
So to teach people. Should we use every moment as a teachable lesson? Should we use Demi Lovato overdosing to mention black men not getting the same treatment?
Yes, it sucks that she overdosed, but every
even
moment
black women. Whitney Houston didn't get the treatment.
She did not.
She did not. She got the
I know people
treatment.
that don't. Yeah, people are like, oh, she's been using drugs since the 70s. I'm like, that's not what we're talking about, though.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not. It maybe not even just be black men. It might be black people.
But yeah, every moment's a teachable moment, like you said, and this is another one. It sucks that sometimes tragedy is involved, but
I think
people learn different ways, and it goes to different extents for people to learn. You need to fail a test sometimes for you to say, shit, I gotta study for this exam.
That's true.
Or you maybe get a 50 and be like, yeah, fuck, I'm good. I don't need to study.
That's facts. So, I think that maybe it's not necessarily a fork in the road in that case. Maybe it's just like a situation for you to do both. Maybe there is a situation to say, can we just focus on the fact that we are doing the right thing for this specific instance, but can we also acknowledge that it doesn't happen across the board and systemic racism does exist? You know,
I have to tell some people that what systemic racism is. They're like, what's a systematic racism? I'm like, all right, guys, let me sit you down.
People that haven't gone through it, I mean, to be fair, that's the only, like, I can really play devil's advocate in that situation and say people that haven't experienced systemic racism.
Systematic.
Truly might, you said systematic. Truly might not believe systemic racism exists.
I don't know. Yeah,
right? So it's like,
if you don't know what white privilege is, you don't know what white... Systemic. Okay, go on.
But it's like you said, systemic. There's those that are ignorant, and then there's those that are intentionally wanting to remain ignorant.
Yeah, and I'm not intentional. I might be ignorant to a topic, but correct me.
But as soon as, correct me. As soon as I learn about it.
You know what I learned recently in the last few weeks from Big Brother?
It's Big Brother.
So I don't want to say the
Big
word.
Brother fan. You'll find the challenge is better than Big Brother. Facts.
Oh, it is, but like I still watch Big Brother. It's kind of interesting. I can't even say the word, but a word for short people.
Okay.
It starts with an M.
Right.
And with a T. It's supposedly it's an offensive word for them.
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that until last week, but now I do.
Interesting.
And I'm not going to say the word because I'm not ignorant.
There you go. Right. So
I was ignorant to that topic, but now I know.
So you would have said it. Technically, you would have said it 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And felt no way.
No way.
Because you didn't know.
Yeah, because I was ignorant. But
you were ignorant to the idea that saying the M word is offensive.
I wasn't. What's the other ignorant you said? The ignorant way on purposely.
Intentionally.
And I'm not intentionally ignorant. That's what I am.
You're not saying to yourself, you know what? F it.
I'm still going to say
it. There's nothing wrong with saying that word that starts with an M. I'm just going to keep saying it. Right? Now, I also think, to play devil's advocate on that point.
Go. Keep going. I like devil's advocate.
There's also... I think it's also okay to ask why something's wrong.
Oh, yeah. I want to know why.
Right? It sounds silly to say, but let's say there's a white person that says the N-word uncontrollably. And you sit them down and you say, yo, like, can you, like, not say that? That's not right.
Yeah.
and they say, well, what, like, why? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just gonna keep saying it.
You can't get
Now, initially, if they think to themselves, why? That doesn't really make sense. Like, I hear it in music videos all the time. I'm just gonna keep saying it. That's borderline at that point. That's borderline intentional. And then that's borderline like, okay, maybe there's an opportunity to explain to them.
Yeah.
So now if you explain, even if it requires that extra step to explain, and I think that's where sometimes let's say we're sticking to this example, that's where sometimes we as Black people drop the ball.
Because we expect them to know.
Exactly. We expect them to get it upon first attempt where you say, yo, that's wrong. But they're gonna have the rebuttal.
Yeah.
And the rebuttal is gonna be, well, why is it wrong?
And then
but there are times where we just say, just don't do it, it's wrong.
But
We shouldn't
give them
do that.
a reason.
That's where we drop the ball. We're not explaining ourselves.
Yeah.
So now we got to explain to them it's wrong for these reasons.
Blah, de, blah, de, blah.
And now they're going to show their true colors.
And they'll either say, well, no, this person said it. Or they'll be like,
There you go.
I feel you. I didn't mean it that way.
There you go.
I know now.
There you go. But
enough about drugs.
Let's move on to some different shit. Let's get on some new music, man.
Yo, you said Denzel Curry dropped something?
A couple of shit dropped, man.
I saw one video, with his face painted like a Joker.
Yeah, some shit.
I don't know.
The visuals looked okay. I didn't watch it again. I watched like a scrolling Instagram. One of those.
I watched it, but I didn't watch it. So I was
watch it.
Right.
So he released a new album. Now, at first, I was trying to figure out the album name. I was like, is it Tattoo? Because it's TAA13TOO.
Oh, it's Tati.
Right. This guy's so at first I'm like, wait, what? What is he trying to do? Like, because there's like 6 Black and all these motherfuckers that use letters and numbers.
Yeah.
That shit confuses me.
6 Black.
Figures out it's a lot easier than, maybe. It's like Taboo, I think.
Oh my God. Wait, but then there's a T there.
That's
so Tab 2.
I don't fucking know, man. But anyways,
Tab T-O.
Denzel Curry released some new shit. Now I listened to Everyday Struggle for some reason has guests last week.
I don't even listen to Everyday
They
Struggle.
brought Russ back. An
DJ
annoying interview.
You know what? Like Russ has some good points sometimes.
No,
but
I
he's
like
just
Russ.
annoying.
No, Russ is not even annoying to me. Russ is just.
I find the way he comes across really like ugh. But he has good points.
Nothing wrong with Russ does. Russ comes off kind of cocky, but so does everyone else. You're supposed to have that swag.
I don't know. Russ just comes off different. Like
I don't know.
He comes like sort of like a hypocrite, but like he's not.
Nah, Russ is cool, man. Russ is cool in my books. But again, they had Russ.
Will Russ sell out most in amphitheater?
Yes, somehow.
I think he would. He was doing ACC, right?
Yeah,
he's headlining ACC
somehow. And I don't know a single Russ fan. But again, I listened to his album before.
Fan, but I'm a Russ music.
I listened to his album Lone Wolf or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Lone Wolf.
Before I really knew there was hate for him.
Oh yeah.
So that's not going to change my opinion about him.
Yeah,
this whole Russ Takes the L movement, I didn't even know it existed when I listened to the album.
I'm the same way. I listened to Russ before I knew he had an L.
So I was just like, okay, I like the album. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it came out 2017. It bumps. There's a lot of substance on here, so I'm going to check for his music. Next time he releases an album, I'm listening to it.
He releases like a lot of music. He releases a lot of singles too.
That I don't really I don't check for singles. I'm an album guy.
Well, it's you go on Spotify.
No, I know, but I hate downloading singles. I like albums. I wait for the album. I assume the single's going to be on the album.
Yeah, but sometimes so if singles comes out like 4 months before an album.
I know that, but if it's not, I'll miss it.
You listen to Chun-Li?
A few times.
Yeah.
I don't have it downloaded.
I see what you're saying.
Right? Fifi, I listened to it twice when it came out, and only when other people listened to it. Otherwise, I don't have it downloaded.
That's not single. That's just a random track.
True. You never know. Oh yeah, I guess.
Anyway, what was he on?
But yeah, so Denzel Curry was another guest on there. Surprised me a lot because I think perception plays a powerful role. Again, how does he look? He looks like a new age rapper, so I assumed he was part of the new age rapper movement that I don't particularly enjoy,
and all that stuff.
Right? I don't particularly enjoy that kind of music unless I just want something mindless. So I assumed he was that. Now, on the interview, he's just showcasing a lot of music knowledge. He's talking about, when Wu-Tang said this, that, Outkast, Southern.
He's not a dumb
when you talk about, trying to make it, look at Outkast. Outkast were the ones that were literally Outkast and they made it. So I'm not focused on trying to fit in.
He mixed, mastered, and produced himself. You remember
I didn't know that.
He's
on that Logic, J. Cole type of wave where he's producing his own music.
He put out his music himself. No one touched his music.
Management type of
No management.
I didn't know that.
He made the beat.
So he studied the game, obviously.
He's smart enough to know
So that's the
history.
thing. I didn't know he was so, interconnected into hip hop. So that made me say, you know what, I am gonna check for his music.
But he's annoying about that. That's the thing. Because I think he released like 9 mixtapes before he got like a hit. And that's what a lot of SoundCloud rappers, because he's always giving the SoundCloud rappers shit, saying, you guys don't have quality, you don't do your shit. But they all hate him because he's like, well, shut the hell up, Mr. I released 9 mixtapes and I didn't get signed. Like, you're
Whatever,
shit
man.
that.
That's just like a...
But it's just a back and forth. But that's why they always say he takes the L. Because it's just like, he's just annoying about always
silly,
saying...
man. People are silly. You're like, why? What's wrong with pushing your music? What's wrong with being confident in your craft? But anyways, fuck it, man. So again, he releases this album, Taboo, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Tab 2.
And he releases this in 3 segments. He releases it as, he says that he described it as a, he wanted it to be theatrical.
Okay.
Because it was something different. So he's like, there's kind of 3 parts to the album. There's the light part, of course, the fun part, the gray part where there's a little bit more emotion involved, and then the dark part that maybe be a little bit more on the emotional side, right? So he wanted it, rather than releasing it all at once and you saying, well, these tracks are the light ones, these ones are the middle ones. He didn't want people to be confused, so he released it as
3 different
segments, right? 3 chapters, if you want to call it that. But the project itself, if you look at it on Spotify, it's just a project. It's just one album.
Okay.
Right?
I remember seeing something about like he's releasing the final part today. I remember seeing that somewhere like on.
Are you into this kind of stuff? Like he tried something new. He tried a 3-part release, and then when the final product comes out, it just shows up as one list on Spotify. Are you like does this matter to you? Would you rather get it all at once? Like,
yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't take in Denzel Curry at all.
Which is surprising because I thought you were on his wave. That's actually kind of why I gave him a listen. I'm not gonna lie.
But now
I saw it on my list. I was like, "Yo, Shola listens to this Denzel Curry guy." Right? So let me kind of see why.
Curry.
That's interesting. Okay,
I'm actually going to try and listen.
Whatever.
It got good reviews. It got good reviews, so I do want to listen to this album.
Yeah. So I bumped it. once.
How does it sound? Like, does it sound like, is it lyrical type or is it
it has
like
lyrics to
rapper?
it, man. It has lyrics to it, and then again, there are points in time where it does have that SoundCloud sound to it, like just filling the beat type of thing. But there's some substance on there, man.
I'll give it a listen. I do want to take it.
I do want to give it another listen just to kind of confirm that.
Put the light, gray, dark. Like, it gives it more than just a Playboy Cardi type of hype.
Exactly. So it's not like a Die Lit type of thing. Like Die Lit, I couldn't get through. Like,
is that Playboy Cardi song?
Yeah. I couldn't get through Die Lit. I just I played it. Okay, this is the Cardi we're gonna get. Okay, next.
It's a regular Cardi.
But I mean, this Denzel Curry sounds like it has something to it. So shout out to that.
Shout out to Denzel.
Don't have a rating yet. I mean, I only listened to it once. Probably won't have a rating because I probably won't take him in that hard.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'm curious about it. Jazz Cartier.
Hey, Toronto native. Shout out.
Is he from Toronto?
He's from Toronto.
I bumped Jazz Cartier. I don't even know why I started bumping Jazz. There was a track that came out.
He had a few hits like last summer. He's been releasing like hits constantly.
He had a hit. I want to do my Googles and check.
Is it No Way?
Check my Spotify list.
No Way.
No, it's called like How Did I Get Here or Why Did I Get So High or something like that. Like, what's it called? Let me see this shit. Yeah, my internet's going slow.
Yo, my internet is so slow up here.
Yo, that reminds me. Is my fucking hotspot outside, bro?
Yeah, it's inside behind.
Oh, it's inside?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say. That shit's about to break. Yo, I don't even know. Hold up. Let's do my Googles.
Jazz Cartier.
I need to know now.
Jazz Cartier. Well, he's from Toronto. I don't know where in Toronto he's from, but yeah, he blew up like last summer. He started blowing up more. And so you released a project?
Yo, do you still say the alphabet to yourself when you're thinking about alphabetical order?
Oh, at certain letters when I get to like I think like IJK.
I'm like HIJK. I can't fucking find it. Fuck it. Who cares?
Whatever. You listen to that song?
I kind of listened to the album. I bumped like the first couple tracks. It's whatever. Sounds good, right? But has its moment in time. New N.O.R.E came out as well.
I never listened to N.O.R.E.
Yo, N.O.R.E. I can't believe N.O.R.E. is still releasing albums. This song, it's called 5E. He has a fan base.
He does. I'm not saying he doesn't have it. I just never listened to it. I'm not in that fan base.
No, I'm saying like he has a unique fan base now. He has the Action Bronson type of fan base now because he does the food shit now.
Oh, yeah, he does that hood
right? What channel is that on?
I'm looking some Vice.
Probably. No, Charlamagne was working with him.
Yeah, it's probably like MTV. I think it's MTV.
So I think it might be. So he has the food audience. Food audience is a sticky audience, man. That's a good audience to get behind you for sales, right? For merch and shit. But yeah, no, new N.O.R.E came out. I listened to it. It was all right. I mean, nothing special. Go give that a listen, I guess. It's all right. Has some decent features on there.
How long is it?
Fabulous
7 tracks?
on there. No, it's 15, something like that.
Okay. How long is Denzel Curry's combined?
Denzel Curry's, I think, was like 14.
Okay.
Yeah, full album.
Will I be able to tell the differences in the song when like
I kind of thought about it. Like I didn't really think
this is the beginning of the great part or this is the end.
No, it's not like
not like Man on the Moon.
It's not like and the great part begins now. Like it's not like that. Like it's just the tone of the music. I guess would sound
like Man on the Moon. You remember Man on the Moon by Cudi? He put like in brackets Nightmare.
Yes.
Does it do? He doesn't do that, right?
No.
Like gray
Not at all.
I'll listen to it anyway.
But I'll give that a listen for sure. Let's get to some sports talk.
Let's get to some sports potpourri.
Sports potpourri. Are we calling it that?
No. I like sports potpourri. We can't overuse the word potpourri.
Yeah, we can't overuse that shit. Shit, man. What happened in sports? So let's go WNBA.
Yeah, let's go something different
now.
Now, recently.
I was gonna bring this up last week.
Yeah, we just didn't have time, no.
But not only did we not have time, but I also wanted to see if it was going to go more noticed.
It did not.
And it did not.
No one's given...
It got more buried under the rug.
You know why?
Because it's women?
Yes. No, not because it's women. It's because it's the WNBA.
Because it's women?
No, it's because it's the WNBA.
Okay, sure. So WNBA player Liz, is it Cambage? Cambage?
I listened to a podcast, they said Cambage.
Okay.
Cambage
so according to the podcast that Shola listened to.
I forgot what the name was.
Liz
I just want to get more
Cambage.
information on her. That's why I listened to her.
Now she's a beast, first of all. She's like second in the league in scoring. She puts up like 21 and 9.
She's 6'8".
And 2 blocks a game. So she's putting up some dirt
She's
numbers.
her center.
So she holds the record for the most points scored in a single game in WNBA
Shout
history.
Out. Congratulations.
She scored 53 points
She's a Will Chamberlain.
as her Dallas Wings beat the New York Liberty. This was back on the 17th of July. First and foremost, salute to Kia Nurse. Hey, Canadian talent.
Yo, we out
Maple
here.
syrup.
Reach ball.
Shout out to Canadian Nurse. I was gonna call her.
Canadian
Shout
Nurse?
out to Kia Nurse. Yo, she only puts up like eight points a game though. I'm kind of cheese. But you know what? She's on the roster. She's probably sixth man. She dropped 25 in that game off the bench.
Off the benchies though.
But again, she only averages
Call her the Canadian Lou Williams.
Yo, she Canadian Lou Will.
Who won 6-man? Lou Will didn't win 6-man last year, did he?
Didn't he?
Someone else won 6-man last year.
I think so. I think so.
Go on.
But it's funny. I tweeted about the game because it was airing fucking live on Twitter.
And they didn't block it in Canada?
No.
Because I tried doing that with football once, and it was like, you can't watch it in your region.
But yeah, I mean, that's like football. Billions of dollars involved in that. So I wanted to see my baby Sky Dig, of course.
Hey, Sky Dig.
Sky Dig. Yo, she's putting up fucking numbers, bro.
She was an all-star before her ACL injury.
Of course, she's still an all-star.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, she didn't, like, don't make it seem like she was a
she had ACL, too,
She had an ACL, and she was out for a year.
She's putting up 19, like, 6 and 6. Like, she's putting like 19, 6 and 4, like 4 rebounds.
Yeah, that's not bad, though.
Yo, fam, she's like a mini LeBron. She's like what Eric Bledsoe's supposed to be.
That's an off-the-bench all-star in NBA.
Yo, for real.
19-6 and 4? 19-6 and 4? With 1.6 steals?
Facts. Yo,
defensive, second-team all-defense right there.
She only put up 9 and 6, though, that game. But no.
Hey, not every game LeBron's putting up 42.
She had to let Liz Cambage get that record. Get that record.
That's a lot.
But what really intrigued me about this game was that, again, it was airing live on Twitter. Right? Now, I also think about the Junior Basketball Association. LeVar Ball's league.
Okay, I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck is that? Obviously an AAU competitor. That's essentially what they're supposed to be.
Well, yeah, I was saying but...
Well, it's supposed to be, yeah. They broadcast their games live on Facebook. Right, so this got me thinking.
Wait, LeVar Ball does that?
Yeah, they broadcast live on Facebook.
Man. That's sick.
I watched some of them, actually. I want to see what the talent level's like.
Is it good?
It's sloppy.
Because it's all high school kids.
But yeah, it's 17 to 19-year-olds. Yeah. It is sloppy, but it's like AAU wouldn't be that sloppy.
It's more organized.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's also the inaugural season. It's going to get better.
Right? First season of the NBA was probably sloppy.
Yeah, it was probably trash. Like Bob Cousy and them. Kyrie would cook all of them.
Bob Cousy, man. Kyrie will cook in the, 40s?
Oh my God. What would fam? That would be ugly. But again, this made me very curious because the game was airing live on Twitter. Had I known Liz Cambage was going off, I would have kept watching the game.
Yeah, you
I
just
only watched like 4 minutes of it. I just wanted to see Skylar Diggins. I'm not gonna lie.
Was she playing when you saw her, or
She was playing. She was playing. I was like, okay, you do your thing. Even remember when the Ball brothers went to Lithuania? Remember those games were on Facebook as well.
Okay, question.
Go ahead.
What time was this WNBA game?
This game came on. I was tweeting while I was at work.
Okay, go on.
So what? 2 p.m.
That's okay. Go on.
Some shit like
I think
that.
I know where you're going with this, but go on. I just wanted to get that out.
What I want to know is, do you think there is something there for social media to be the way for you to showcase your games?
Yes, but not at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
Right. So I mean, well, that's more so the WNBA schedule, right? Like
but that's why they don't get those views, man. I'm not looking for a game. You know what? 2 years ago.
Do you truly think WNBA does not get views because the times that
that's not the only reason. Because I did watch them in the playoffs. I watched the playoff games.
I used to watch WNBA.
It's not like
it's low key.
It's entertaining, but like if you're looking for NBA talent, you're not going to get that. You're not going to see that.
But see, that's the thing. I think a lot of people go into WNBA viewership with the wrong perspective.
They do.
Right? So this is I was thinking about it. Think about this parallel. Think about soccer, right? English Premier League. Do you expect the same game as La Liga?
Oh, no,
do you expect the same game as Italian Serie A? Do you expect the same game as MLS?
Different styles of play for sure.
So different styles of play. You're not going to go into one expecting to see the other. So why are you going into WNBA thinking that they're going to play like NBA players?
That's true.
Right? They play a different game. If you watch Euro basketball, you're not expecting the NBA.
You're not.
If you watch international FIBA America championships or FIBA championships in general, if you're watching Olympic basketball, you're not expecting the same game as the NBA.
Definitely
so
not.
It's like, why can't we apply the same logic to WNBA? Right?
Makes sense. I agree with you.
Facts, like they're not going to dunk.
We know that. When you lower your expectations, you will enjoy the WNBA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, people's expectations are too high. People want 100%.
People want
even
NBA. when you watch NCAA a lot.
Oh, I love NCAA basketball.
How would you compare it to NBA? I'm not going to ask how would you compare, but what I'm saying, would you say it's distinctively different than NBA?
Yes, definitely. They don't.
But you enjoy it for different reasons.
Yeah, well, I enjoy just watching younger talent play.
Well, yeah,
but it is different from the NBA. Like, they listen to their coach more. Like, they don't have you run here, and
I guess
get an ISO. Like, their players are more like you run here, you run here,
and executed way more poorly.
Yeah, and executed way more poorly. But that's the thing. NBA players get to like. If I don't have the shot, I can drive. Whereas in college basketball, most of them don't have that.
They don't have the drive, so they got to reset back to the top.
Start and they're not smart enough to see
run the third play.
Mm-hmm. And the ones that are smart enough end up going to the NBA.
So how do you try to increase WNBA viewership?
Make it more accessible, like you said, Twitter. That's one.
Social media.
Let people know. Like I hate to say, like make them know there's a difference, but make people know there's a difference. Like, hey, look. These are the best female athletes, like basketball talent, but you're not going to see Russell Westbrook run down the court and slam on a man if that's what you're expecting. Like, you're going to get almost more of a college play, but better.
Like you're going to get you're not going to see as many fast breaks. You're not going to see any fast break dunks. You're not going to see alley oops.
You're not.
The fouls aren't going to be as hard.
Nasty blocks.
The game won't be as fast. But what you will see is more passing. You will see more post play. You will see more spot up shots. You will see more ball movement leading to an open shot. You will see a game that has a little bit more parity involved, where athletic giftedness isn't as much of a factor, right?
Being tall is the biggest factor.
You can't stop Giannis because he's a genetic freak, whereas there are no Giannis's.
There isn't
in WNBA.
Like you can be 5'6" and you're a shooting guard.
Exactly.
You're a star shooting guard.
Exactly.
And you're 6'1" and you're a center.
It's more about the technique and it's more about how you play the game. It's interesting though. It's very interesting because I think social media does have that ability to increase the exposure.
How would you promote WNBA? Like now, it's like you're the new commissioner of the WNBA, Matt.
I would try to specialize in something, and I think there's an opportunity to specialize in social media. If I specialize in showcasing my games via social media, you will know that the game is there, and I'm talking more so out of market games. The national games, I would still do via TV. But the other games, I would definitely make sure they're on Twitter. I would definitely make sure they're on Facebook as well. And then that way, the commentary, I noticed the JBL does this a lot, or JBA, whatever the LeVar's league is called.
Junior Basketball Association.
They interact. The commentators are, we're live from Atlanta today.
I still want to watch one of these
we want to
games.
know where you are from. Drop a comment where you are from.
Like force that interaction.
And they, shout out to Bob from Kentucky. We see y'all, Kentucky. Oh, we got South Africa in the building. You know what I'm saying? And now they're participating.
You want to force that interaction too,
right? It's like, guys. It's like, what do you think about LaMelo? Oh, LaMelo's playing nice. It's halftime. He's 4 of 7. He's playing super efficient. He's got 9 assists, 10 rebounds. What do y'all think?
And then they'll start reading people's like
someone
tweets
says Melo's got to run the ball better, run across the screen better.
Do you agree with that?
Do you agree with that? Interaction. Right? So
that's what they got it for. Because I don't see WNBA out there. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I see highlights on NBA's Instagram page. That's the most I see about WNBA.
And I think the WNBA commish needs to work closer with Adam Silver, because Adam Silver is a very progressive person. So he does see, equality with amongst men and women, at least I would assume.
Yeah.
So if I can use that as leverage for business reasons and say, hey, I need your help in promoting my game.
Will it work?
I think it can work.
Because
work. If Adam Silver says no,
they should incorporate it.
And then now you're in question. Hey, he doesn't promote women.
Is the WNBA part of the NBA in a way? Or are they like a completely, totally different
I know they used to
entity.
be. I can tell you for sure they used to be when I used to watch WNBA. And I used to watch like 6 years ago.
Force them to interact.
I don't know if...
force a way for them to WNBA to be shown like somehow.
It kind of already happens with the All-Star game.
Well, they took that out. They took that out. The hires.
So that's why I wonder if there's a partnership there anymore. Because they took away shooting stars. Right?
Well, they should do something to.
But shooting stars, they had interaction with WNBA. That's how most people were seeing WNBA.
That's how I saw a lot of people.
Right?
Like, who is this woman?
Because now you're saying, okay,
who is Sue Bird?
You know what I mean? Or who would be there?
Sue
guess
Bird wasn't one of them.
At the time, even at the time in Seattle, like Lauren Jackson, Rashard Lewis, and Sean Kemp are on one team.
Who's Lauren Jackson? You go Google
and then you
her.
figure out she's like one of the greatest players of all time, right? So it's like that's where your education was coming from. But yes, I think that I don't even know who the commission is now. I remember who it was back in the day, but whoever the commission is now, if they use the progressive agenda to their advantage and work with Silver to say, promote me.
Lisa
we
Brothers,
need women to be up there.
Borders.
Right? Adam Silver can't say no.
He can't. Especially not with the times.
You know what I'm saying? Or else the commission would be like, hey, we tried talking to Silver.
And he said
no. And now where's that pressure on you? Court of public opinion. Right? But
I have some more stuff on Cambage, but it's really unimportant. She just says she doesn't like the WNBA. She says I forgot where she was. I think she was in Australia or somewhere. She said like they're treated like proper. Like they get first class. They get chartered jets.
Candace Parker said the same thing. So Candace Parker was on Michael Rappaport's podcast, and she was saying, EuroLeague. I don't know if it's considered EuroLeague or if it's just the separate leagues by country. But I think the best players play in Russia, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no idea.
I think actually most players make most of their money during in European leagues.
That's what Liz Cambage says. She says she makes almost triple the amount she makes playing in the WNBA because she doesn't want to play in the WNBA.
Yeah,
she got drafted and was like, I don't want it. I just want to stay in Australia.
I don't blame her. Australia basketball is huge for women in Australia.
Yeah. She's like they're flying economy with the WNBA, and in Australia they're flying chartered.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's funny that Candace Parker said the same thing. I thought it was just a one person thing.
Nope. It's a general consensus. I think Diana Taurasi said the same thing back in the day.
Where to go.
Europe is the place to go. That's where she plays her regular season. I think she's on CSKA Moscow.
Come on, America!
It's one of the best teams.
Step up your game.
So that's another thing as well. How can you make the WNBA big if your league is not even seen as the best league?
I'll tell you how to make a WNBA big.
How?
Fucking make a WNBA 2K19.
Yo, or NBA Live.
They have the
WNBA teams in there.
I'm not really trying to play with I can't run a fast break.
No, the game's lit, bro.
Am I dunking? Yo, I'm gonna use Brittany Griner. Gardner.
Brittany Griner, she can probably dunk in that game. I think I played like one game as WNBA on NBA Live.
Did you finish it?
I played like I was just trying it out.
Yeah,
I wanted to see like the speed and shit. But if somebody wants WNBA Live, it technically exists.
That's true. That is true.
But back to 2K.
Yeah, 2K. They came out with some ratings.
Yep.
And I have issues with a lot of them.
I think they're wilding out on some of them.
I'll give you some of the ones I had. Like you just said, Oladipo 91.
Okay.
I think that's why he had one amazing. It was an amazing
should be
season.
86. Go ahead.
But he should be a high 80s. LeBron, they gave a 98. I think he should be a 99.
They don't want to give perfect ratings.
You should look, honestly, LeBron is LeBron. Even you admitted that.
Yeah,
MJ's a 99 in 2K.
A roster player. Well, no, they finally got his name right.
Yeah, they can use his name 10 years ago.
Shit. I mean, Jordan would be a 99, yeah.
And wouldn't you say LeBron's a 99?
LeBron should be a 99,
okay.
yeah. But the game doesn't like to put perfect ratings.
Yeah, fuck them.
Okay, Depot's a 91, should be mid-80s.
Yeah, Kemba.
86. Kemba, I think
I thought he got
86.
disrespected. He's way more.
What do you think Kemba should be?
He played on a shitty team. He should be an 89.
You're wild.
And I'll tell you why. Because they gave Tatum, Mitchell, and Simmons
so maybe they're just
87.
grossly too high. Maybe I think Mitchell should be 84.
I think Mitchell should be 82.
I think Tatum should be 85 because he does have more of a skill set currently.
86.
And I think Ben Simmons should be like 86.
Yeah, Ben Simmons should be the highest one out of all of them.
Or maybe 85 as well because his shooting stats would be so low.
Oh, his shooting stats would suck. That's
right?
true. Take that back.
They disrespected my boy Kuzma. Kuzma can't play that well and get a 78 rating.
Come on, he had
they couldn't give him an 82.
But that's why I don't like them because you can't. If they give
players,
Mitchell,
they ignored. Like
exactly.
He was 78 last year. Lonzo was 78 last year, and now they're coming in 78 again.
Is it because these guys went to the playoffs and those guys didn't?
It's because they got more media attention.
That is what it is. They know those people want to play with Mitchell. They don't want to play with like Lonzo wasn't. He wasn't the spark.
I think Lonzo should be like 81. And I think Kuzma should be like 82, 83.
I don't think Kuzma's that. I think Kuzma's fine with the 70s. Like he is
78. You don't think Kuzma is 81? You don't think he's at least at 81?
He's not in the 80s.
You're fucking kidding.
But then again, I don't think half these second years should be in the 80s.
What about Paul George at fucking 89?
89. That was disrespectful.
Disrespect should be a 92.
91, I think. DeRozan got
89.
You think that's fine?
Good rating. Good rating.
90.
Kawhi got 92.
Someone got 94.
AD.
Yeah,
Anthony Davis got 94.
You think that was good?
Fair. I think it's fair because he's injury prone. But there's literally nothing he can't do. He can shoot, he can pass, he can drive, he can dribble, he can dunk, he has speed, he has power, he has blocking ability, he has defense, he has rebounding. He should literally, like a healthy AD is a 99.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like in a video
when
game.
he's in his prime, like if he's like hot of the hottest, he's a 99.
Sure.
So now let's take this back to WNBA. Let's go back to 2K.
Okay, 19. WNBA 2K. Let's talk some ratings.
It's coming out.
I should have pulled up the fucking NBA Live ratings to see how that would have been.
Oh, I didn't think of that. I totally forgot.
Okay, so let's talk some names. So I used to watch WNBA. Diana Taurasi.
Okay, what number? What would you give her?
My girl DT.
I think she's the GOAT.
She's my Kobe. Diana Taurasi's my Kobe. I give her a 96.
96, jeez.
Diana Taurasi's my Kobe.
Okay,
not gonna lie.
Let me run on the list I have here.
Okay.
Sky Diggins.
Sky Dig. Eesh. Sky Dig would be like a 88, 89.
Okay. I thought you were going to say 9. Like, she's not a 9.
She's like a Kemba. So she's like an 87.
87?
I'll give her.
Brittany Griner. Or
Griner? She's like a Yao Ming. So what would Yao Ming be?
Yao Ming was in low 90s in his prime, like before we.
She'd be like a 91. I give Griner a 91.
Her height helps her a lot.
Yep.
Cheryl Swoops.
Ooh, Cheryl Swoops. Shit. Swoops would get like a 88, fam.
80. You know what? I agree with that. I'll go like
Tamika Catchings, a prime Tamika Catchings.
Did I have her on this? Is like now.
She would be like a 95 in her prime. Tamika Catchings. She had so much defense. It was crazy.
Maya Moore.
Maya Moore. Oh, Maya Moore is
she's my
deadly.
favorite WNBA player.
Maya Moore is
ever.
literally Kobe. She's like a 90.
She has to be at 96.
96.
I would give her 96.
I can't even hate on that.
Like I would give her like a 96.
I can't even hate on that.
Candace Parker.
Candace, you got to give 97. Candace is a 97. That's no debate.
She's just one of just that little bit better than Maya Moore.
What would you
Becky
give?
Hammond.
Becky Hammond when she was playing.
I don't know her as a player. Was she a good player?
She was a good player.
All-star? Multiple-time All-star?
Multiple time All-star. She was the New York Liberty. She led the franchise, like, just led them in general.
That's good. She didn't get no head coach.
She was like a Jason Kidd almost, like in her
she's like
in her
a
style,
jack
but she didn't really
trades.
like grab rebounds. She's like 5'4", so but minus the rebounds, she was like a Jason Kidd,
I don't know, but from what you said, I'll give her
like a
85.
latter career Jason Kidd. She would get,
We put in the 90s?
I wouldn't say 90s
okay.
though. I would give Becky Hammond like a 86,
I gave her an
87.
85 just based off what you said.
It was Sue Bird.
Sue Bird, I had on the list. Oh, fuck.
Sue Bird is homie. Damn. I'll give her like an 87. She's so sick. She's
I'll
like
give
a
her like an
Steve Nash.
89.
She's like a Steve Nash.
Liz Cambage.
Yo, well, since she now owns the record for the most
You gotta
scoring,
respect that.
since she averages 21 and 9, yo, you gotta give her like a 92.
92.
This is based off of nothing.
Elena Delana Dawn.
Elena Della Donne, she's a beast, bro. She's like Lauren Jackson 2.0.
She's like a 96.
She's like a 96,
95.
bro. She's so teeth.
And then last person I'm going to add,
Okay.
Rachel Demita.
Rachel Demita. She's like a
You're
72,
like a 71.
bro. Fuck. She's a 72.
That's all I had.
That's jokes. Fuck, I can't even think of any other WNBA players. Let's get off this WNBA shit, man. Let's move on to some Raptors talk because some interesting things happened this past week regarding Kawhi Leonard, obviously.
Kawhi.
Two things regarding conversations that I want to ask you about.
Okay.
The first thing regarding conversation is that Kyle Lowry says he hasn't talked to Kawhi Leonard yet.
Okay.
Right.
I don't feel like that's a big deal.
Why not?
What the fuck does he have to talk to you about?
Do you think Kyle Lowry, as the quote-unquote undisputed leader of this team, has an obligation to talk to Kawhi Leonard?
So in that, with what you just said, as the quote-unquote leader.
Because he is the leader now. With DeRozan gone, he's undeniably.
He should reach out to Kawhi himself and say, hey, welcome to the team. If you need something, hit me up.
So he says he hasn't talked to Kawhi Leonard yet. You don't find that a little odd?
On Kyle Lowry's part, not on
Exactly.
Kawhi's part.
No, not on Kawhi's part.
Okay,
Kawhi has no obligation. I gotta talk to Lowry. No,
Kawhi's part.
no, fuck that. I'm talking about from Kyle Lowry's perspective.
From Lowry's part, yes.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I kind of ask myself, is something like, do you think he's just still emotionally hurt about losing DeRozan because they were legitimate friends?
Yeah, I think he was. I think he is.
So does that hurt the Raptors?
Well,
because I'm just like I'm creating wild connections
if he's mature enough,
he's
like
showing,
he should be.
Right now he's showing, and I'm sorry to cut you off.
Like tendencies.
Yes, right now he's showing that he's more focused on the emotional side than the business side,
which sucks, and you don't want from an NBA player.
Exactly.
You want to say, hey, look.
So do you want that to be your leader of your team?
No, hell no.
Right?
No. No.
Or the question always becomes, are we just looking too deep into this? And you know what I mean? Like
no, because even in my job where you have to go from different places every so often. You call up the boss and say, hey, I'm coming by your location.
You communicate to some extent.
Like, do I need to know anything beforehand?
Exactly.
So yes, I feel like there is.
So does this create some preliminary thoughts for you in terms of how the Raptors might perform this season?
Nah, I think it's not that serious.
Yeah, they won't impact the
end. They haven't talked about it's not that serious. Like, Kawhi is not the type of person that will even track this. Like, Kawhi's probably like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who is Kyle Lowry?
Maybe he doesn't give a fuck because the other conversation.
What other conversation?
So he had a conversation with none other than head coach Nick Nurse.
Oh, they're going to do Casey
Now, reportedly, they had a great discussion. I'm going to read a little bit of an article here just because I want to get the facts on the table before I ask a question here. So they had never met before, never spoken. All Nurse knew was the reputation. Leonard is a tough nut to crack, pause. So the Raptors' new head coach planned on doing the most. I'm dying. He planned on doing most of the talking when he finally got Kawhi alone. Pause. He even had a speech lined up. Yo, I should not read fucking scripts, bro. Too much ad libs. He was going to tell Leonard all about his coaching background, his vision for the team, and how the new offense he helped Toronto design and install last year. After the month-long interview process that ultimately got him promoted to the main chair earlier this summer, he had a sales pitch memorized by now. As it turned out, he didn't need the monologue. Quote, unquote. I sat down first and said, do you have any questions? And he started firing them at me. N.O.R.E told TSN and the Toronto Star in a wide-range interview from Las Vegas on Friday. It led to a really easygoing meeting, of course. It was not what I was expecting. He's very smart, very intelligent, very engaging. It was very enjoyable. All in all, the conversation had lasted 45 minutes and could have gone longer if Kawhi wasn't whisked away to the next stop on his tour on the Raptors practice facility, formerly known as Biles Steel Center. He lit up like a Christmas tree, Nick Nurse said. He was prepared. He had a list of questions. And then when I got up, he was asking me about the offense, and I told him how we built it and how and the things that we do. The shot spectrum, and I was showing him the spacing. He got up from his chair and got up at the board with me. And they had to drag us out of there at the end because they had to go and do something else. But it was great. So what do you think about that?
I feel like we're in for a good year.
I feel like I'm very impressed by that.
I think that's good. Nick Nurse is showing how good of a head coach he is already.
Right. His preparation, first of all, I liked a lot. Yeah. He was ready to talk to Kawhi about, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how we want you to be our star.
Yeah, because you got to remember, Kawhi's probably like, I don't know who this guy is.
Exactly.
Why should I respect him?
Because he has a new name. They just fired Coach of the Year, right? So to finish it off, Leonard asked his new coach how they plan on using him, where and how they got him the ball, amongst a series of other questions that about the upcoming season. So Nurse couldn't help but get excited about the possibilities. So at first I had an issue with the Lowry thing. Mm-hmm. Then I saw this. I'm like, no issue at all.
I have no problem. I always have like,
no issue at all. So he spoke with Nurse. Nurse is cool with him. They had a great conversation. Great first impression. Nurse probably, I'm making an assumption here, Nurse probably showed that Popovich level of preparation.
Probably.
So Kawhi is probably like, this guy is really about his P's and Q's. Literally.
Where did Nurse come from before here?
He had a stint in Europe. I'm trying to think.
If he had any other head coaches.
I think most of his success is from Europe. Most of his career success, his career accolades are from Europe.
I'm trying to think of any other head coach he worked under.
I don't think so.
No, that's fine.
I really don't think so.
Shout out to him. First of all, that's a good sign of a head coach.
That is a great
good sign of a star player. That's really good.
This definitely
teamwork
does give me a positive impression.
And Lowry will get better eventually.
There you go. So it's like I have definitely some more confidence because again, there's a narrative that I don't believe that Kawhi Leonard doesn't want to play in Toronto. No, I don't buy it. I think it's the NBA media. Yeah, I think it's the NBA media just doing their thing.
You gotta get clicks somehow.
They do certain things, right? They make DeMarcus look like a bad person. Mm-hmm. They make Kawhi look petty. They make what else? I'm trying to think what else the media does off the top of the head. What's another main story?
They made it seem like Donovan Mitchell was going to win Rookie of the Year.
They make it seem like Mitchell was going to win, and that's a great point. Even though Ben Simmons was like consensus, I'm sorry, it was never close.
They're hyping up Tatum just because he can shoot. Yeah, and he's only 19 years old.
19 years old. I mean, again, the NBA media plays a powerful role in narratives, and obviously they're doing that with Kawhi, but you never really know if there's some truth to that, right? So this first meeting really gave me some positive insight and some positive expectations.
NBA Finals, here we come. You heard it here first. TNB, April 26th. Wow.
I really think
July 28th.
Imagine if it is
July 28th.
What do you mean?
No, like today's date.
I thought you were saying like the playoff finals date because that's not far off. 26th of April.
Oh,
no, the season finishes then.
Yeah, it's in June. It's like end of June.
Yeah, well, I'm tripping. Wow. Whoa. That's how you know we're going too long here. So let's get off this basketball shit.
Oh, shout out to Let's Go Raptors, NBA Finals.
Let's go Raptors. Let's go Raptors. 0 rings. Let's go.
0 rings. What's coming? Don't worry. With Kawhi is coming.
What else we got, man?
Fuck. You got anything right now?
I got something, man.
Go ahead, shoot it.
It's
probably not the wrong term.
United States. Speaking of shoot it. It might shoot out of this. The titties them.
What's happening?
Fucking public breastfeeding is finally legal in all 50 states.
I thought it was always legal.
It's weird because it pretty much was legal.
If you shame someone for doing it, like you were wrong, but technically that person right now was not wrong. Well, not shaming you, but like, if they said put your titty away, it is a public space.
Yeah, well, public shaming. I think that is still shaming. I think that's still a form of shaming. Tell someone to put it away.
But it's illegal.
I think
if someone's
what
stealing,
it
you tell them
was.
not to steal. Is that shaming them?
It's different. It's hard to explain. Hard to explain. But let me get something off first. Some facts first. I think it was pretty much legal, and that's why I'm kind of having a hard time answering your question. But there was 2 states that finally made it legal, and I guess those were probably the last 2.
Or the pussy ass
Right?
states.
So it is now legal to breastfeed in public anywhere in the United States. Recently, Idaho and Utah signed bills
That's not, they don't like
into
girls.
law permitting public nursing. That's what they call it, public nursing. With this act, the U.S. is now up to speed with the U.K. and Australia, where it was legal in the UK since 2010 and in Australia since 1984.
First of all, shout out to Australia for liking seeing titties since 1984.
1984.
And Idaho and Utah just realizing today that, you know what, maybe we do like to see some titties.
Now, here's the crazy thing about all of that. So in Utah, a representative, a Republican representative, big surprise. His name is Kurt Webb.
Shout out Kurt Webb.
So no shout out to
sorry.
Kurt Webb. He complained during a hearing that a lack of cover-up could lead to immodesty. He told the Salt Lake Tribune, "This seems to say you don't have to cover up at all. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm just not. It's really in your face." He said, "Whip it out and do it anywhere? No. Just no."
Okay, first of all, he's from Utah, and Utah has a really high community of Amish people who are known
Super conservative?
to be, you covered from head to toe, pretty much. So it doesn't surprise me that someone will say this.
Why are people bothered by public breastfeeding?
Fam, just turn 30 degrees to the right. Boom, it's not there
Okay,
anymore.
but let's think in their shoes for a moment. Why? Why am I bothered?
They think it's indecent.
Why?
Because it's it's revealing yourself. Look at my.
So you're revealing a private part. They look at it
Pretty
like
much.
whipping out your dick.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it's seen as indecency.
But
everyone's saying,
wearing a 2-piece on the beach isn't indecent.
or this guy is probably the same person that will say, when you go to the beach, you wear jeans and jogging pants and t-shirt.
You think that person would say everyone that goes to a beach is stupid because they're all too
Yes,
revealing?
I think this with Kurt Webb.
Okay.
I think that is how he would think.
What
Again,
about
assumption.
continuing with the beach theory? What about men? What about men and their level of revealing? What about when they're at the beach, shirt off, and they're wearing a little speedos or something?
Right. it's still too reveal. Actually, you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we all know there's a double standard there.
Of course,
That
there's a huge double standard.
It's
with
always
men
been
and
there,
women.
and it's probably never going to go away for a long time.
Although, I mean, it probably should.
It should. All things should go away. Right?
Right? So it's like, forget the beach, because you can make the argument that the beach is that
It's
place
meant
to be able to be
for-
revealed, right? Let's talk about just clothing
Going to the
in
mall.
general. Let's say you're
It's a
going to
hot
the
day.
mall. It's a hot day.
Hot 32 degrees.
A couple, man and a woman. The man is wearing a tank top and shorts, and they're respectable length shorts, so they come
2 inches
right
above your knee.
right? The woman is wearing some short shorts, nothing too raunchy or anything,
And a
just
tube
short
top.
shorts, and like an American Apparel shirt, right? That kind of tube-ish type of top.
The 2001 that just covers the upper area.
not like the Paris Hilton looking 03 type of look, but like something respectable.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Is that too revealing?
To some people, yes. To some people, yes.
Right? Like, so we're just talking about conservative views.
Yeah.
We're just talking about probably religion or culturism.
Yes.
Or
That's why I said in Utah there's a high Amish community there.
right.
So, and Amish people are known, they don't use technology, they don't use cars, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Honestly, I don't know.
We don't fact
But
check.
I know they're not big on the new
Like
stuff.
new age, like technology.
Yeah,
and shit.
they're not looking for the new Takashi Fifi.
Yo,
They're
fam.
not looking for the Trippy Red album to come out.
They're still listening to vinyl,
Probably
but not
vinyl.
for cool reasons anymore, just because
No.
they still have it.
Yeah, from like the 30s.
That's
So
jokes.
I don't. Does it bother you that?
I mean, it doesn't.
It's
I mean,
legal?
public breastfeeding obviously doesn't have any impact to me. I think it's like you said, if you're bothered, just don't look.
Yeah, like look.
I mean, there's always that ability to like not look, right? Like,
don't make it seem like such a big deal to do. Like, hey,
really bothered. I just don't
look at it.
I don't get it. I can't understand it. I can't even think, and you know what, I'm not even going to try to think. Let's just fucking move on.
Fuck it.
But shout out to the United States for finally showing signs of progression. The final 2 states, apparently in Idaho, the vote was unanimous. It was like 41-5 or something like that. Like the vote was unanimous in favor of making it legal. So no real problems in Idaho. But again, in Utah, it was interesting that whoever that person was, that representative, had so many negative things to say. Like,
Amish people, man.
Fam, control yourself. But let's get off that public breastfeeding for a second. Let's talk about, of course, what's going on in our city right here in Toronto.
We love you. So love the 6.
So Toronto Strong, of course, was a hashtag that was floating around last week.
Yep.
We know, of course, the unfortunate events that happened with the Danforth shooting. Not here to really tell the story because, again, you probably should have heard it by now. And if not, I don't want to do it any injustice. I don't want to, not cover any facts. So that's something that you can research on your own. But what I do want to ask, again, and we sort of said the same thing, or I was sort of bringing up the same questions with Demi Lovato and her overdose case. So the shooting, the Danforth shooting.
Yep.
At first when it came out, and maybe you correct me if I'm wrong, first when it came out, they didn't have a clue who the shooter was. They didn't know the race of the shooter. They didn't know the identity of the shooter.
All you knew is that he was,
they had a quick little like Snapchat video or Instagram video where there was like a quick half second of who it was.
Yeah.
And the person looked white.
Definitely did not look back.
Right? So the narrative on social media was mental health. This person was mentally challenged. Not mentally challenged, sorry. This person had mental health issues. This person may have been going through some things. Not necessarily let's try to exercise compassion because the person did kill 12 people.
Is it 12 people? I don't
12
know the
people
details.
Injured, 13 people
one
injured,
person
2
died. 2 died?
Yeah, 2 died, 13 injured total, something like that. So it's not let's have compassion for him, but it was like, let's try to understand what made him do this, right? So there was that perspective. Then information comes out about this person's name, and this person is evidently Muslim.
Yep.
And I will get a little bit more information about that later on. But I noticed the narrative change, and this was throughout the same day, right? So I'm listening to the story on the radio intermittently. Seeing what Twitter is saying. I'm just seeing how this story is developing because I want to know more about it.
Of course.
I work not too far from that area, so that's important for me to be aware of.
Town.
And just even if I didn't work there, you want to know about your city.
It's my city. Like I live there. It's not far from me.
So now I'm seeing the narrative change from let's try to find out why to can we still use mental health as an excuse? Isn't this still wrong?
Yeah, it's still wrong. No one ever said it's right.
But I'm saying it's funny how the consensus opinion was, oh my God, let's try to find out what happened with their mental state. And it shifted from that in the morning to can we even use mental as an excuse anymore? This person is still wrong. Da-da-da-da-da. They're this, they're that. They're Muslim.
Mental gives that excuse.
In fact, Fox, Trump's personal news station.
I could told you that.
Fox had said, what was it? Oh my God, I'm forgetting. It was something along the lines of due to the lack of border control that Canada possesses, and there's the overage, let's call it, I can't think of a better word, the overage of Syrians that they have in their country, something like this now happened in Canada. That was the narrative that Fox News was spreading about this story.
Fox News has been unreliable since 2008.
Yo, fam. So
been unreliable.
What really bothers me again is that change of narrative, and I'm wondering, have you noticed when the shooter is white, it's a mental health question. When the shooter is black, it's a violence question. When the shooter is of Muslim religion, it is a terrorist narrative.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right.
Well, because mental health is like your safe way. It's something he can't control. It's something he's born with or she's
But
born,
again,
and that's
at
their
first,
safe.
that was the narrative.
But that's the safe way of That's the safe way of saying, oh yeah, we know what he did was bad, but yeah, he couldn't afford. Like it wasn't his fault.
But then now, once we find out he's Muslim, it's not a question of, oh, but that's not his fault. It's, oh, can we still use that as an excuse?
Well,
Right?
obviously, because now they got like, okay, now we gotta say mental health for the white guy that's going to kill someone.
That's true.
There was this quote or this Facebook post I found on Instagram. Facebook post I found on Instagram.
Facebook post you found on Instagram.
It says Joshua Scribe Watkis. It was posted by Mr. Lewin. You know
Okay,
Mr.
Mr. Lewin. Okay, shout out to him. He's
It wasn't Toronto Strong when it was thugs getting shot. It wasn't Toronto Strong when two little black girls got shot in the East.
Yep.
It wasn't Toronto Strong when a pregnant girl got shot in Rexdale. Do you remember that? It was like 2 years ago in
do remember
Jamestown,
that.
right opposite
I do remember that, yeah.
West Humber. Or not West Humber. Yeah, West Humber. I'm getting tired of this. White people die in the city and mourn. Black people die and the city increases fear and prejudice.
There you go.
White man shoots people outside of a hood and doesn't get and there is no demonization. Government officials wear bulletproof vests to visit dangerous areas.
I was going to put that in CCS, by the way, last week. Did you hear about that?
No.
There's a counselor, I think he is. He went to visit Jane and Finch to just have conversations.
And he wore bulletproof
vests to visit Jane and Finch to have conversations.
Wow.
And he was saying something along the lines of, and he's something like he works for like Ministry of like Safety or something like that, like something where it's counterintuitive to wear like,
vest
to promote that kind of message.
You're like person like, yo, let's live in this area, but
and then like never visits there or something. Like it was silly like that. I was oh man.
Well, it's just what it is. At the end of the day, again, it's called white privilege.
Fam, it's so frustrating.
It's white privilege.
But what made this a little scary at first, or not at first, but what made this a little scary after the fact was that ISIS tried to claim ISIS is claiming responsibility for this shooting.
To be honest, ISIS claims anyone that's Islamic,
but that's the thing.
They've been known for that.
That's
is he Muslim? Us.
They have no no evidence to back it up, right? Do you think this? I mean, we're highly speculating right now. Do you think this could have any ISIS influence?
I feel like it was an indirect. Like if you support,
like someone's like a supporter.
Yeah, so he went to like, oh yeah, and ISIS, but ISIS really didn't know you were doing it. But he probably maybe emailed them once. I was like, yo, what's good? Can I join your club? He got no response.
Yeah, and then or he's still supporting it, and he's just like radical supporter that feels okay. To show my allegiance to what I support, I got to do this. Yeah. So it's not like ISIS actually making an impact.
Yeah.
It's just
like ISIS gave him a phone call. Right. Like, yo, homeboy, go do this.
Yeah. So it was interesting. The police, of course, just making sure they say what they have to say.
Please, you guys
to really try to diffuse the situation. They just said, accurate information about this investigation will be the only thing that they release. They continue to explore every investigative avenue, including interviewing those that knew the shooter, reviewing his online activity, and looking into the experiences with mental health. Do you feel safe in Toronto? I think that's an important question that people are starting to ask now.
Yeah,
do you feel safe in Toronto? Same.
Same. You can't take one like. I know we've been really bad this summer. I'm never going to lie.
This summer has been bad.
But
my God. So amongst everything that's happened in Toronto, do you feel safer in the city as a whole?
I still feel the same way. I've never felt not safe.
Are people justified in not feeling safer?
Shit happens everywhere, so no. Like shit happens everywhere.
I think
you can't live somewhere where there's a hurricane and say, "Do you feel safe here?" So I feel safe, but I also know there's a chance of a hurricane. Right. Yeah, I live with people in a big city. I also know there's a chance. Like if
you lived in Florida, you would know there's constantly weather, related.
Exactly. Stuff you can't control, stuff out of your control, stuff you just gotta live with, and I don't say you just gotta live with, but
it's some. Well, yeah, I think I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that. You have to live with it. You have to live with the fact that if you live by, I'm trying to think the city in Italy. You're right by the volcano. That volcano can erupt at any time.
Yeah.
You have to understand that. So
when it happens, you just got to be like, all right, like, how do we move on from this? How do we learn from this?
How do we try to address it and lessen it if we can in terms of violence? And actually I'll touch on something later. How do you address it if you can.
Hey, do you feel safe in Toronto? Do you still feel safe?
I don't think there's any difference. But again, I understand both sides. I think the reason why there is legitimate concern about Toronto is because Toronto continues to develop into a more and more world-class city.
It is, yes.
Now, we already are a world-class city. We already have been a world-class city. But I'm talking about
It's coming
the
more
amount
to
of
the
eyes.
spotlight. Yeah, now we're
So
shining more.
Somebody like Drake is a huge influence on that.
Oh,
because
huge.
now, like Savon mentioned last week,
It's because of Drake.
it's cool to go to the Six.
Yeah, it's cool to
He's
say I've
visiting
been to
Toronto for the
Toronto.
first time because Drake essentially made it cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of it. I think another part of it is John Tory is actually doing an amazing job as mayor. I think for example, he brought the Jazz Music Festival.
Mm-hmm. But that was never in Toronto before.
I don't know if it was never in Toronto. It probably was.
I think I've heard of
It
it.
probably was. But what he's doing is he's bringing like the Banksy thing.
That was him?
He's essentially responsible for when he was elected. What he mentioned was that really trying to turn Toronto into a world-class city that gets worldwide class type of acts.
Like the Banksy
right?
exhibit.
Like the Banksy exhibit.
Did we talk about that?
We briefly talked
Oh,
about
okay.
what else came to Toronto kind of due to him?
The Pan Am Games?
The Pan Am in that sense. The Toronto Indy
which
still
I think
goes
was
on.
really good because it made us show we cannot host the Olympics.
Exactly.
And we're not hosting the Olympics. Thank
What
God.
else?
He
But
did
again,
bike lanes.
the point I'm trying to make is that
He closed down King Street.
close on King Street. Toronto is starting to truly develop into a world-class city.
Let's just
And
not turn into Chicago.
when you develop into that world-class city, think London, think New York City, think pick a city in
Seattle's actually a
California,
world-class city.
Seattle. You think about these,
Barcelona,
bigger cities,
Venice,
Barcelona,
Amsterdam.
again,
Paris.
yes, and think about those cities' threat to terror.
Yeah,
They're higher
way higher.
because they are world-class cities. So I think it's a little bit of a catch-22.
You can't be a world-class city and expect to be as safe as a
That's what I'm saying.
little small town of 10,000 people.
So I understand both sides. I understand why people do feel less safe, but I think they kind of have the wrong perception of mind. In their mind, it's I feel less safe because somebody might just come and shoot me. Violence. Someone might come and maul me, beat me up, like a Chicago type of perspective.
Not because
right?
we're
Not
getting
because
bigger.
of terror. Not like a London perspective.
Yeah.
You don't think if you walk the streets, I'm going to get jumped, but you think Chicago, if I walk the streets, I'm going to get jumped.
Yeah,
right?
I feel you.
When you think London, you more so think, if I'm taking a train, I don't know.
Like
If I open this mail, I don't know. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like there's an unattended box there.
Exactly. I don't know.
We're not
So
looking for that in Toronto.
I think that kind of fear makes sense that it's increasing in Toronto. But I think the other type of fear of just getting jumped
Needs to
is silly.
decrease.
It's silly. That needs to decrease.
We can't have both. That's not. Then we become a shitty city.
It's like anything. Just don't start no shit, won't be no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you mind your business. You don't start no trouble. You don't, go out of your way.
Is it time to move out of Toronto?
No. Fuck that. I'm staying in the city.
Yo, I'm
B.
dying, yo.
Fuck that.
Yo, let's stick with Toronto. It's a big Toronto, Canada heavy
Canada heavy podcast today.
Well, that's where we're from, so we gotta show love.
Gotta do it, man. Show
every
love.
day. Let's get some CCS.
We're gonna get into that CCS. Let's do
Crazy
it then.
Canadian shit.
So, like you guys know, crazy Canadian shit. We out here. Hashtag CCS. It's those weekly, your non-typical stories, your eye-raising stories, your
Stuff
what the
you
fuck
wouldn't-
stories.
Yeah.
And of course, the common theme is they're all from Canada because
Pretty
we
much,
want
yes.
the viewers to be aware of what the hell happens in this country.
Yeah, the shit you're not going to see.
Right? Now, some things we're very unaware of, and some things are very close to home to us.
Yes.
Now, you had one.
Yes, I'll start with this one.
Let's get it.
An Ontario man tried to break into a police station. And it didn't go well.
Okay.
Of course, I could have told you that.
What was there?
Okay. So, they didn't say if he was drunk or not.
Okay.
I think he was drunk.
Absolutely. Or on something.
Yeah, or he was definitely not all there. At 1 a.m., Roger, I probably should say his name, of Stafford, Ontario.
Stafford. Okay, so there's nothing to do with Stratford.
Yeah, but he was in London when this happened.
Okay, so nothing to do in Stafford,
No.
Stratford, Ontario.
Stratford.
Isn't that where Bieber's from? You said it wrong last time.
He's from Stanford.
No, he's
from
Stratford.
Stratford?
You said it
Oh.
wrong last
I
time.
think I said
was
from
dying. I
Stanford.
listened back to the episode.
I think I said
like,
Stanford.
My nigga, you're saying it wrong
Oh,
the
well,
entire time.
You must be no Justin Bieber then, because he's from Stratford.
Small town. You probably knew him.
Probably his uncle.
Yo, if Bieber was, if he did his wedding there, this would have never happened.
Definitely not.
Well, go ahead.
Yo, also, supposedly, it was his last stop on the night of damaging property.
Okay.
Apparently, as he was spotted earlier breaking the window of a nearby store and hitting the door of another store, allegedly. After that, he went where anyone out of night on fun breaking things would go.
Okay.
The police station.
Okay.
He broke the glass to the north doors, north entrance.
Maybe he just wanted to do damage.
And
I'm not even mad at that.
Yeah, they were just waiting for him, and they said okay, and he came in and they arrested him for 3 charges worth $5,000 of damaged property.
Yo, that guy's a goof though.
And but they didn't say he was drunk. They didn't say what he was on. They just said he tried to break in to the police station. Well, who breaks the police station? I'm pretty sure the door's open.
Fam, something's up with you if you're doing that.
And this happened in London, Ontario. It was a 42-year-old man too, so it wasn't a kid. Because I said London, I'm like, when it says London, what comes to your mind first?
I think of like a 21-year-old.
Right, Western University. London's known for a party city.
That's interesting.
It's a school. Yeah, some 42-year-olds.
That guy's on one.
Yeah, really interesting.
Let's move on to another CCS, man. So I spoke about how do we make the city a little safer, or where that sort of wrong opinion about the city getting more unsafe. So hopefully this helps to turn it in another direction. So Toronto City Council just voted to ban the sale of handguns and ammunition in the city.
I agree with that.
Shout out to that.
I agree with that.
First question. Did you even know they were selling guns?
No, I thought we were always illegal to sell guns. I thought it was always illegal to sell guns.
Facts. Yo, fam, I thought it was like, I didn't know we could sell guns in Toronto, or
it was legal.
Handguns and ammunition
do not know
were legal in the city. So apparently it's not anymore. So the councillors voted in favor, 41-4.
Ooh, shout out to councillors.
The city's mayor, John Tory, as I mentioned, he is the city's mayor. He voted, of course, in favor of the bill.
Shout out to him.
Very interesting that the nephew of none other than Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who, of course, is the brother of the late Rob Ford, of course.
Cracking for you who don't know.
So Doug Ford's nephew, Councillor Michael Ford. So obviously the family
I've
is...
seen his sign at Kipling and Rexdale.
Did you?
He said when he was running for office, he had an office there. Now it's the car, he didn't win. It's right behind the CIBC, right behind the TD.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it's an empty lot now.
Right at Rexdale and Kipling.
Yeah, right at the intersection.
So again, Doug Ford's nephew, Councillor Michael Ford, he voted against. He voted against the ban. He was one of those 4 votes.
The Ford family is known for controversial, he probably just did this just to get his name saying,
probably.
I know everyone's going to vote against it or for it, so let me vote against it and everyone's going to talk about me.
Whatever. Shout out to Toronto. Nonetheless.
No more handguns.
We out shit.
When does this kick in so I know to go buy my handgun?
Don't kill you. I'm not too sure. But let's end it on a little bit of a fun note.
Let's get it.
So we did this back in, what was it, like episode 4?
Yeah, 3, 4, 6, 7, 1, 2.
So every once in a while, guys, we like to hit you guys with some weird Canadian laws that you didn't know existed. So let's do these one at a time here.
All right, go.
So first one, did you know lawmakers in Etobicoke, so that is
north.
What do you call it? A sub-region of Toronto?
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
That's north of Toronto, I guess.
So the lawmakers in Etobicoke are big believers in bathtub safety. So much so that a local bylaw states that a bathtub should not be filled with more than 3.5 inches
of water. Do you ever wonder why you hear no drowning in Etobicoke?
Yo, fam, you gotta roll over your body to finish shower.
AKA don't take shower, don't take bath.
You know when the hot dog's in the fucking
the pig in the blanket.
You know when the hot dog's in like the hot dog cart looking rack and it's like kind of spinning.
Oh,
that's what I
when at 7-Eleven.
That's how you got to dry your body if you're in a tub.
It's gotta roll up. You can't see me right now, but I'm rolling.
Yo, that's crazy. 3.5 inches.
Sure.
What's the next one?
Yo, Source PEI, a city in PEI, Prince Edward Island, which is on the east coast of Toronto.
East Coast, smallest island.
I kind of want to go there just to say I've been there.
Yo, they apparently have good seafood.
Well,
that makes
let me tell you something you can't do there.
What can't you do?
You can build a snowman that's higher than 30 inches, 2.5 feet.
That's pinch.
That's 2 subs and a 6-inch.
You can't build a snowman. I'm talking full snowman. The trunk, the middle,
the head.
And it can't be more than 2.5 feet?
Yo, 2 subs and a 6-inch.
Fam, that's 2 subs and a 60.
That's how I have to remember it.
2 subs low key is like $14 sometimes. It's not a bad deal.
It's not.
That's pinch.
Go on sub of the day. Oof. And they have like chicken teriyaki on Wednesdays, I think.
Yo, fuck.
And they're Sunday
Chicken teriyaki low key is their best one.
It is.
I never wanted to admit that before.
It is hands down. And then there's Sunday.
No, it's still meatball. I'm fucking with you.
Nah, I don't eat meatball like that.
Let's move to the next one.
What's
So,
next?
thanks to an obscure law in the Canadian Criminal Code dating back to the 1940s, it's illegal to possess, print, publish, or sell a comic book that depicts any criminal act.
Oh, so you can't sell anything that.
So you can't sell anything, really. I mean, almost every comic book has some sort of criminal act in there when you kind of think about it.
Wait, so there's no comic books sold in.
Well, no, they don't really implement the law.
Oh, but it is a law if they do want to use it against you.
Technically illegal to sell, to possess,
Oh,
to print,
you can't bring it into the city.
to publish, or to sell a comic book that depicts any criminal act. You can't even possess it.
Oh, shout out to, where is this again?
Fam, that's the whole country. Fam, that's the country.
Yo, I don't own any book that has violent or criminal acts in it. Just letting everyone know right now.
That's
Everything I
crazy.
own, everyone is sleeping and giving each other hugs. Pause.
What's the next one? Next one?
Here's another one for you. Actually, we're really close to this place.
Real shit.
If you're ever in Ottawa,
Okay.
actually, we're not that close. We're
not
probably
that
like a few.
close
We're
to
like,
Ottawa.
we're like half.
We're in Tweed, Ontario. We're not even halfway right now.
We're
to
like a
Ottawa.
good few hours away.
I don't know. We're not that far.
Yeah, we're closer than we are when we're home.
That's true. That's a fact.
If you're ever in Ottawa on a Sunday, that's tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
and get a hankering for ice cream cone, which I might. Whatever you do not eat on Bank Street.
I'm gonna assume Bank Street is like their main street or something.
It's like their Young Street.
Maybe.
We'll find out.
No, we don't fact check.
That's because eating ice cream on Bank Street on any other day of the week is perfectly fine, but Sundays is against the law.
Can't eat it on Sundays. No dope on Sundays, man.
No ice cream on Bank Street on Sundays.
I ain't mad at that. No dope on Sundays.
I feel you.
Did you know in the town of Uxbridge, which is in Ontario as well,
Another place not far from where we are.
there are strict limits regarding internet speed. In fact, there's a local law that limits. Fam, I got a Drake side to this.
That Drake side.
There's a local law that limits internet speed to 56K.
That's 56 like KB, like.
I'm going to get to that. Now, anything faster and you're a criminal. The 56K speed, by the way, which was the average back in the mid 1990s when dial-up modems were all the rage and the concept of Wi-Fi was pure science fiction. So that's as fast as the internet goes. Them little cyber cafes where the internet page
You gotta tell me
loads.
like they don't. This is another one. They cannot enhance this one, right?
This is law. This is this is the gospel, man.
But this is one of those that is like, yeah, we know it's there. We're just too late to change it. So get whatever internet you
I
want.
don't know, man. Maybe not.
Like, if you live in Oxbridge, Ontario, please let us know. Is your internet 56K?
Yeah, we need to hear this. People from Uxbridge. We're getting
crazy.
listeners from everywhere, right? We're getting viewers from everywhere. So
Yeah.
hopefully there's a few Uxbridge listeners.
You know what? We do have the shittiest internet. Remember we did the airport one?
Yeah. So Canada is shitty, technically.
Come on, guys.
Or Toronto is shitty, technically. So Uxbridge is worse.
I don't know where Uxbridge is, to be honest. Where is Uxbridge?
I don't even know, fam.
I feel like I've seen it on a map before.
I don't even know, fam. But
All right,
yo,
last one.
last but not least.
Arguably the weirdest law in Canada, and is still existing. Toronto bylaw prohibits dragging a dead horse down Yonge Street on Sundays.
Now, Yonge Street is our main street.
That's huge. It's the longest street in the world, too. isn't it?
One of the longest. Or if not the longest.
Yeah, something like that.
It's we out here. We out here skitty.
Now, Monday to Saturday, drag a horse all you want.
But Sundays,
But Sundays, like ice cream on Bank Street,
no dope on
we
Sundays.
don't do courses on Yonge Street on
no
Toronto.
dope on Sundays.
So that's it.
I ain't mad at that.
know
Yo,
what?
fam,
It
that's
is.
crazy though. When you think about it,
Note to self: do not drag a horse
fam, on Sundays.
on Sundays on Yonge Street.
On Sundays. But shit. Fuck.
We got
I
anything
guess
else?
that does bring us
To the end?
to the unfortunate end
No,
of another episode
don't go.
of the True North Views
Don't go.
podcast, guys. So please continue that conversation by telling a friend
to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to
tell a friend to tell a friend. You already know what it is, man. It's 6 degrees of separation, guys. As usual, I go by
Spread
the name
word.
Harris.
You can call me JustShola.
Tell them that number one rule.
Watch out for them waste man. So
Watch out for the waste mans. Now stay dry because it's raining like a motherfucker. We
Stay
trying to
like a
enjoy this
plug.
Cotty.
seeing like a plan.
We try to enjoy the Cotty
You
life.
can't even make a fire. There's a fire
There's a
ban.
fire ban right now.
Nah,
There's probably
now
a
we
barbecue
inside.
ban about to happen just
Yo,
now.
Everything that could go wrong could go
The
wrong.
water's cold.
Yo, no fishes for fishing.
You know what it is, man? We still live in the
But
Cotty
whatever.
life.
Yo, we
though.
about to make lunch too. I'm marved.
I'm marved.
And then dinner, that's another feast on the
But stay dry, stay safe.
Yo, stay
City's
safe,
hot.
unfortunately.
Watch out for the waste mans.
Watch out for them.
For those that have listened this far, we really appreciate it.
Love y'all.
For those that fast forwarded to this point, we really appreciate it.
We never plug our socials, which
And
is
we
horrible.
never plug the socials, so
We
we're gonna
need to
do
get
it right
better at
now.
this.
So
Spell it out
follow
for
us,
them.
guys. Follow us. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We are on SoundCloud. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Play. We're on Spotify. We are scratching the surface on YouTube.
We're working on it, guys.
We're out
working
here,
on
man.
it.
We're out here. So you
We're
can
also working on
follow
something
us
for you guys,
on
too,
all
so
social platforms.
watch out.
We are at True North Views, all one word, TrueNorthViews. True North Views, again, all one word, on social media platforms. Again, like I said, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Play, etc. Just search True North Views Podcast,
And we're right there.
you will find us right there.
Yo, we're expanding. We're out there on different places. We're on Spotify too, right?
Yeah, we're on like some next shit. I don't even know what it's called,
We're everywhere.
Ecast or some shit.
We're on Podbay too.
Yo, fam, we out shit.
Yo,
The
we're
price
just
is
trying to
going up.
Get it while it's
Price
young.
is going up. It's
Yo,
True North
invest
Views.
right now.
It's episode 14.
Invest while we're stock is still at 14, guys.
Let's get it.